If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 6zeros.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated, and we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 6zeros.net. Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 6zeros.net. Ah.
All right. welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. We are here once again for the midweek report. And we got a few things to discuss today. So hopefully everybody is doing well. Looks like we got some folks in the chat already. All right, so as you're coming in, please hit the like and share button. And, we will not take too long getting into it. Of course, if you don't know, you're probably watching and wondering why you cannot participate in the chat. It is because you are not yet subscribed to this broadcast. But once you do, I think about 5 minutes after that, then you will be able to interact in the chat. We just want to make sure we have real people and not bots. Because, we have those, the Russian bots that like to come over here and flag pro-black channels. So we're going to try to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's see who we got in the house. Let's see. We got View of One. All right. Chief moderator here. One Who Cares, Judah Queen, Queen Adia, Shawana S, Silent D. All right, Pride at Bentley, welcome. Maya Bay, Dervis, Capricornus, hey, Dark Skin Brother, Bryce Bees. All right, Tasha Peters, welcome. Denise Soul, hey. All right. So as everyone is coming in, gather the folks around. Black Love 17, Nino Black, what is going on? Welcome. So check it out. This first little story that we're going to hit tonight is a local story that just came out, broke today. So this might be the exclusive as far as you guys know, because this literally just happened a few hours ago that the story is coming out. But this is actually something that happened at the beginning of the school year last year. So right here at this, I guess it's a school that is supposed to be catering towards people with special needs. So this particular child is autistic. I'll just play the story for you, and here we go. Wrong one. Actually, I'm going to play that. That is an ad from Marcel, Brother Marcel's campaign ad. I'm going to play that in a second. I actually meant to play that first. But we'll get into the story, and then I'll run his ad after that.
A mother is suing the Multnomah Education Service District after she says a staff member physically abused her son who has autism. As Fox 12's Mia Villanueva reports, court documents show it was all caught on camera.
I'm at Fork Creek School in Southeast Portland. Court documents say that there is video of a staff member here picking up a student and throwing him across a room, causing him to hit his head. That family is now seeking $700,000 in damages from the Multnomah Education Service District. A complaint filed by the Oregon Law Center details a disturbing incident that happened in September of 2021 at Four Creeks School in Southeast Portland, involving a third-grade student with disabilities. Documents say Four Creeks, which works specifically with students with behavioral challenges, informed the mother of the student, Tyria Jones, that her son had to be restrained during school. Four Creeks has surveillance videos around its campus, and Jones requested to see footage of the restraint. But she says the video she saw did not match what she was told by school officials. Documents say the video shows a staff member pushing Jones's son toward a room used for restraint and seclusion, but that once he was in the room, he stuck his foot out to prevent the door from closing. The complaint says that's when the staff member picked him up and threw him across the room, causing him to hit his head on the floor. The document also details how Jones's son had transferred to Four Creeks from another Multnomah Education Service district school, Knott Creek, where he also had to be restrained by staff multiple times. However, Jones says when she asked to see footage each time her son was restrained, the school stopped sending her notices of such incidents. We did reach out to the Multnomah Education Service District. They say they do not comment on pending litigation, but call the allegations in that complaint, quote, deeply concerning. For now, reporting from Southeast Portland, I'm Mia Villanueva, Fox 12 Oregon.
So that one just recently happened. And of course, this sister's name is like Tyria Jones. So she did not do a interview yet on TV to show her face, but judging by the name, I would have a sneaking suspicion that this is a sister, and this is happening right in my city. So these schools, like this one here, they specifically specialize in dealing with these type of children. That's why they had that type of room. But they had somebody working there, obviously, that did not need to be there. So we will keep an eye on that because, of course, they have not released his name. They're trying to avoid every way they can possible to make it about race. At the very least, he needs to be fired and charges pressed against him. And this is something that happened earlier this year. I didn't hear anything about no charges. I only heard something about a lawsuit. But shouldn't there be some charges? Because if it was the other way around and it was the 9-year-old throwing a chair at the teacher or something of the sort, that juvenile would have some charges. Let's just keep it a buck, So without further ado, I want to play the brother Marcel, who is running for Jim Clyburn's seat of South Carolina Congress. This is the brother who I played months ago on this broadcast, the one that was always getting at Jim Clyburn about reparations, and he always would sidestep the question. Well, now this brother is running against him. The interesting thing about this brother is of the LGBTQ community. However, he leads Black First, and he's about reparations for foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves, freedmen, whichever titled of this land's bloodlines, whichever title you go under. So he's working for that. And so without further ado, let me play this brother's campaign ad. Matter of fact, let me get this banner on.
What you are looking at is a monument to Wade Hampton. Wade Hampton was one of the largest enslavers in the state of South Carolina, which was one of the largest slave-holding states. And yet, here on the Capitol grounds, there is a monument to him. If South Carolina wants to recognize and remember this period of history, then it is incumbent upon South Carolina and the United States as a whole to repair the damage that has come from this period in history. At the end of the Civil War, Black Americans who are descendants of American slaves, legislatively called freemen, were supposed to receive their 40 acres in a meal, and that never happened. Instead, they saw their black Wall Streets burnt to the ground. They experienced Jim Crow, they experienced redlining, which robbed them of billions in dollars of wealth. In order for America to heal, Black America has to be repaired. I am running to repair Black America because until we all stand, we all have fallen.
Well, yeah, that was a dope spot. And the thing I liked about it is that he's actually dropping history within a campaign ad. You don't see many people doing that. You know, you getting catfish nuggets and dances and what was that Patrice Cullors thing with electric slide racism. Norma X, what's going on? Electric slide the racism out of people. Come on. Come on. So, moving right along, because I want to get into this Ketanji, as you see, the Ketanji Brown-Jackson Con Game. We're going to get into it, but first part I want to address the Thomas situation. And also Governor DeSantis. If you didn't already know, by the way, for those who are concerned or maybe not, there is now an abortion ban signed into law, I believe, in Utah. So that just also happened today as well. So they have clearly been working on, you have certain people working to rid people of abortion, and then you have the others who are, banking on abortion because they are firm eugenic supporters. So with that being said, let me get this picture up here right real quick. Oh, by the way, before I forget, today the first woman who was made, she's the first woman Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright. She passed today. So, Madeleine Albright. All right, then. Moving right along. This is what toxic masculinity actually looks like. Is that a tough pill to swallow? I just wonder. William Thomas ranked 462nd. Leah Thomas ranked number 1. Oh, y'all wanted to see that again? Yeah, shout out to Madeleine Albright. All right, then. Yeah, I do what I can. Shout out to Ukraine. I stand for foundational Black Americans. I stand for reparations and justice. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, we do all we can here. The Beatzilla PDX official show. We like to offer our support when we can, and in the manner to which we can. So once again, shout out to Ukraine. We are standing for us and our needs over here, and our needs are reparations and justice. Shout out to y'all. Handle y'all business. So anyway, let's get to DeSantis. Esma, what is going on? What is going on? Oh, Joan, that's Ukraine. It is what it is. Because, I mean, truth be told, ain't nobody shed no tear for no black folks over here. They don't shed tear for our killed baby. This is what kills me about the news. Oh, and Putin is over here killing babies. The people to whom you employ every day that you so mad about people taking a knee in a football game about. Nonetheless, those people, hey, damn them. Tamir Rice, what was he, a 12-year-old grown man? I don't think so. But anyway, so let's get into DeSantis, because at least somebody around here has some balls to say something. Not saying that you can ever agree with this dude. He's a devout white supremacist, but a broken clock is right twice a day. And my sentiment on this is anyone should be able to identify as they want to identify. But when you start infringing up on other people for your own gain and success, I can't co-sign that. And I'm the type of dude that shaming tactics really don't work on me. So, we are new black media in the grassroots. My name is Beatzilla, and if you didn't know, I might be known to be the asshole because I don't give a damn. This is what we're about over here. Empowerment. Get with it or get away. But at the end of the day, this thing is moving, whether you like it or not. And so we're going to speak about this foolishness because if I told y'all months ago, and there was somebody that was upset because they felt that I was homophobic or transphobic when I said that they were trying to, and Dr. Neely Fuller said this himself, so I'm not inventing the wheel. All I'm saying is it's very clear the move of trying to insert white men that are transitioned or calling themselves or identifying now as women, whichever capacity that is, and replacing black women. Natural. Well, one major effect that would have on our community is the lack of reproduction. So if you're a eugenicist, that seems like a pretty successful plan. Now, I know a lot of people get hurt in their feelings because that's what they do. But let's keep it a buck. Just like I told this particular individual, your issue isn't about the sexual content of it. Your issue is interracial sexual access. Because, see, the LGBT movement just moves so freely across color lines. But when we start making things about black, well, then maybe they're feeling a little pressure from the group of men or women that they prefer sleeping with. See, when you keeping it 1,000 over here and be one, that doesn't matter because this takes precedence first. So we all can see how you are once you're starting to do that. I mean, we saw that in Afro Elite Space last night. Came clear as day. Come on. So it is what it is. Oh, Yela Arquette. Welcome, welcome. So without further ado, Governor DeSantis.
If you look at what the NCAA has done by allowing basically men to compete in women's athletics, in this case the swimming, you had the #1 woman who finished was from Sarasota, Emin Wyant. She won the silver medal. She's been an absolute superstar her whole career. She trains. I mean, to compete at that level is very, very difficult, and you don't just roll out of bed and do it. That takes grit. That takes determination, and she's been an absolute superstar, and she had the fastest time of any woman in college athletics. Now, the NCAA is basically taking efforts to destroy women's athletics. They're trying to undermine the integrity of the competition. and they're crowning somebody else the woman's champion. And we think that's wrong. And so in Florida, I'm going to be later today, because this is a Floridian who I think deserves to be recognized. You know, we're going to be doing a proclamation saying that Emma is the best female swimmer in the 500-meter freestyle, because she earned that. And we need to stop allowing organizations like the NCAA to perpetuate frauds on the public.
Now, I really don't have a problem with what he said. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are in fake outrage about what he said, trying to make more of it than what it is. And let's keep it a buck. What it is an attack on women. So before you can say transphobia anything, no. No, let's just observe what is happening here. The only person you are looking at on the screen right now is a white man. Correct me if I'm wrong. See, here's the problem. When we start getting into I'll go back to when they started giving out participation trophies. This is almost what this is. I can't compete in my lane. So now I have to go compete against somebody else who is not in my lane. This dude, there's nothing about this dude that is looking like a woman other than just trying to soften up features. But all intents and purposes, this is just a dude. And here's the problem. I know people do not like hearing the truth about stuff like that. But here's the thing. No one else has to co-sign no BS like this. Because at the end of the day, if as a parent, I'm going to tell you straight up, like, I don't want that dude compete with my daughter. Why the hell would I want that? No, you compete with the people in your class, which are boys. And, you know, this is college. How far away from, miss me? No. So, when people are like, oh, you're this, that, I'll tell you what I'm not. I'm not off my square. That's one thing I ain't. I'm very much focused on the game plan at hand. One thing I have to be aware of is all the strategies that these people use against us. It would be wise to know about what your enemy wants to impress upon you. This has been one of them things for the longest. But here it comes down to it. Actually doesn't have any black folks attached to it. This is black men, or this is white men, white women, white trans. Black folks in the black community, oh, that transphobia in the black community, they ain't got nothing to do with us. None. And you're getting lost. See the difference? CH464, Norma X, RG Titan 901. Yes, indeed. Y'all see the difference? Louise, hey. So, yeah, man. Here's this other little piece. And then Kick Gravity Beyond. Welcome, my brother. I'm going to play some audio from Lil Bootsy, little interview. And this is from Twitter. But I don't want to get dinged. And on top of that, y'all know I don't really fool with the dude who do the interview anyway. But I have to play it just on strength of Bootsy saying some realness. So here we go.
Leslie is actually competing in 3 different events. How do we see the rest of these championships playing out for her?
Hoda, there is so much to watch. So she's going to first hit the pool this morning at 10 o'clock. That's the 500-yard freestyle. The prelims finals are tonight. She's favored to win the 500 and the 200-yard freestyles. She's also swimming in the 100-yard freestyle, and she's got a shot there. But in addition to watching for her winning those races, Hoda, we're also watching for the potential. She is within striking distance of the long-held collegiate records by Missy Franklin and Katie Ledecky. So, of course, we're going to be watching to see if she touches those records during this weekend, too.
All right, Blaine Alexander Force in Atlanta. Blaine, thank you.
All right, let me get that out of here. And because I'm not playing this video, let me put this on the screen and let me just let you hear. Because, you know, all that, man, real is real, real recognize real. And eventually you just have to say no to BS.
It's fair for
it's not
a trans
fair. In a minute,
for
5
a male
years, 10
for a
years.
male trans athlete to compete in women's sports because
In
men are
women's
just
sports,
born.
bro.
Yeah,
Let them women have their glory, man.
Yeah.
We let that shit go down in 5, 10 years. They're going to have kids raising their children to be big, strong motherfuckers, then turn into women and take over the sport and get $1 million contracts. Watch.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, women's sports really.
Because motherfuckers think money. Motherfuckers think money. Yeah, go get a motherfucker 7'5", motherfucker 7'5", and turn him to a woman. And put him on the motherfucking NCAA team. And have him dunking like Shaq. Fuck y'all mean. It's this world. I ain't happy in it. I'm just in it.
No, I feel
I
like,
ain't
man,
happy
because,
with
you
it at
know,
all.
at the end of the day, women's sports in general, I feel, have always had an uphill battle compared to the male sports. You know,
Women don't get paid like men.
exactly.
Women don't
Look at
go through the stuff, bro.
Yeah.
A woman pussy bleed. Like, bro. You know what women go through, man? Sit your ass down, man. Get the fuck out the pool, man. Get your ass out the pool, man. Real shit. You cheating, bro.
I mean,
Get your ass out the pool. It's not acceptable in my mind. I don't know who gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna tell them, get your ass out the pool, man. This girl been training her whole life. You got girls been training since they were 4 years old. Their shoulders not made like yours.
Right.
Like, bro,
I mean, think about,
bro, come on, bro.
Right. I mean, think about this, right? Let's just say Kevin Durant put on a wig and decided to join the WNBA.
Come on, bro.
What would happen? What would happen?
Kevin Durant, bro, come on. It's cheating, bro. It is cheating, bro. They got girls been training their whole life to be good at women's sports. At women's sports.
Super real talk. And I find so crazy that people have such a huge problem with that. It's like, you out your mind, man. You are out of your mind. You have a problem with that type of perspective. I don't know who raised y'all, man, but you know, but I was raised around like the type of older women that would tell you we ain't raising no punks. Like, anybody ever heard that? We ain't raising no punks around here. Like, who ain't heard that? So, like, well, that's gender, man. I guess, but I'm glad I ain't ended up as spineless of a coward as you did. Jeez. Real quick, before we move on, family, I believe one of the Hebrew brothers located this, maybe brother or sister. I'm not exactly sure who found this, but this is something that they was doing, and I found like odd timing. Now, for those who celebrate Passover, we just are in, we're in the week of Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's wrapping up. So if you're in the week of Passover, check this out. I'm going to turn the sound off. But for those who know what you're about to see, man, this is literally what I say at the end of every broadcast. the timing of somebody doing and this is somewhere over in Europe. I mean, it's odd timing, man. That's all I can say. Super interesting. Babylon is falling. Wow. I guess there must be people feeling the same way we are in different places around the world. Imagine that. Oh boy. Oh man. Done. I wonder if that only took 30 minutes. Oh, it's Russia. Okay, so in Russia. Oh, my bad. I forgot. That's where this is actually at. The people who are actually invading Ukraine right now. This, when they're talking about denazification. Oh, whoa, wow, man. Hey, not to get on any conspiracy theories or anything like that, man. I'm not saying anything. I'm just, you are seeing what you're seeing from where you're seeing it from. Oh, if you didn't ever know, you might want to Google like the Russian icons. Go take a look at what those look like. Go see who the people they were representing in the Bible. Go see what those paintings look like in Russia. Yeah, it's a whole book called The Russian Icons. You can get it. You can look up the pictures too. They're most of the pictures are probably somewhere in Google Images. So treat yourself on the education. But man, this is boy, Babylon out of here, ain't it? Boy, oh boy. You just see one thing happen around the world, and then all of these other things is happening around the world, earthquakes and tornadoes popping out of nowhere, wars and rumors of wars, and mandatory these and mandatory that's. Yeah. I guess to speculate on that would be considered to be a conspiracy. Kind of like how all of these people now are crying about how CRT is going to make little white children feel inferior. No. Because, out of you guys' own words, it's a feeling of superiority that you're existing with in the first place. That's a concession. Now, if y'all haven't noticed this, there's going to be a whole lot of this MLK being thrown at you because MLK, he wanted you to be the slave master's children and the slave's children just alike. No, that ship done sailed, bruh. Nah, fam. That ship is gone, pimp. I don't know what to tell you, though, but hey, man, it's a new day. It's a new day. Aboriginal woman, 61. So we, just like I said, it's a new day. And we're going to have to get into things that we have in our face presently. And all of this crying and complaining that these people have done about other black and want us to cancel our own black leaders like Farrakhan. And you may not be of the Nation of Islam. You may not even follow the religion. You may be an atheist. All I'm saying is, when you see a black man speaking out and standing up for the things and the conditions of black people abroad, especially in America, regardless of religion, you got to respect that. Think of, no one's going to be perfect, but if you see him doing that, trust me, them people, their powers that be, oh, they don't like that. So anytime you sticking your head and your neck out there like we do, understand, none of this comes without surveillance, and none of this comes without the consistent threat of impending violence. But who gives a damn? If you fearing death, stay at home. Because, you ain't looking for freedom. You looking for pacification. That's why most of y'all are so content with just being next to these people. Well, some of y'all can be in a town, and it'd be cool. Oh, we live in this. Oh, look at us. We got black leadership. Look at what is happening in Mason, Tennessee right now. As soon as you got representation in place, you got this woman up here where everybody is focusing all their attention on this mammy, zaddy-loving woman who cannot seem to muster an answer about racism, Ketanji Brown-Jackson, the great black con of 2022. Because everybody, she's gonna be the whole reason why everybody's gonna start hopping in, especially y'all that be on Twitter spaces like that. She's gonna be exactly the reason why they hopping into, man. I mean, come on, man. Joe Biden did just get the first black president, the first black Supreme Court justice. Now, I mean, is she woman? I mean, shoot, she a sister girl, and ain't she a FBA? Who the hell knows? Here's the difference. And I'll tell you like this, because somebody was tagging me and Tariq in something about kind of debating her lineage. And I'll say this just for my piece on it. Her lineage really is irrelevant at this point. We already know what time it is with that woman. So regardless if she was one of us, Clarence Thomas one of us, you know what I'm saying? Jesse Lee Peterson, he one of us. Can't do nothing with them Negroes. So, I mean, it ain't going to matter whether I will not waste any time debating her lineage. Because bottom line is, for me, actually, this is what matters for me. Being black first. So regardless of what your lineage is, if you can stand with us knowing you ain't going to get our reparations check, that's the type of integrity I appreciate. Outside of that, these people over here living in a whole nother country, as soon as they step foot in America, start identifying themselves on paper as white, now hopping up in our face talking about being divisive and we owe them our reparations. I don't think so. And here's one of the reasons. Y'all don't go through stuff like this. Now, right before I get to this, Tennessee story, y'all look at this. And this ain't no old dude. This is a young dude. So what's the need for CRT? Because your children are in school with this dude's kids. What's up, Afro Elite?
Want to talk to your boss? No. You want to talk to her for her calling me a fucking cracker? And what was you doing? I called her a fucking nigger after she called me a cracker.
And you talking to a black man.
Call the cops. Call the cops.
And you think I won't?
Y'all, all you niggers think this is fucking acceptable? Huh? You fucking nigger!
What's that? You like I said, you're entitled to your own freedom of speech. You can call it what you want to call it at the end of the day.
He can't call me that. He a cracker. Fuck him. He can suck a dick. Just like I told him. You can suck a dick. 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 You can suck a dick.
He up there doing all of that to a female.
I bet you.
You can suck a dick, cracker.
I bet you I'll beat the fuck out of you.
You can suck a dick, cracker.
Your fucking parents
You
raised
can
you
suck
like
a dick, cracker. And look at what you're acting like, cracker. 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 Cracker.
Where's your fucking 7 acres in the mule, bitch? What, you mad you ain't getting
Cracker,
it?
your grandmammy got it, bitch.
Yeah, okay.
You fat ass cracker.
Okay.
Fat ass. Your chicken getting cold, fat boy. Your chicken getting cold. Your chicken getting cold, fat boy.
Oh, Lordy me. You understand me? And just for the record, You know, let me just look at something here real quick. You know, some people have said, I mean, I can't verify if this is true or not. So, I mean, I'm just saying some of the information that may have passed by, flew over the head with the little birdie. And so said that man's name might allegedly possibly be Colton P. Norsworthy. I mean, but I don't know. Age 32 of Okeechobee, Florida. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? You know, different people post different things about different people. So, I mean, who can really say? You know, it seems like this person has an arrest record as well. Allegedly. 2014 February was battery. Allegedly. Notes, felony battery or domestic battery by strangulation. Allegedly. Obstructing justice. Allegedly. Notes, tampering in felony third-degree proceeding. Allegedly. Colton Pete Norsworthy of Florida, Okeechobee, the Glades, Florida, so they say. Allegedly. Who knows? Neither here nor there for me. But anyway, one thing you have to pay attention to is your children are going to school with little psychopaths that come from POSs like that. I think CRT ain't really a bad idea if they could really legitimately figure out what it is. But now that it's so broad, it's just here really to fit the whole narrative of quieting any anti-racism talk. We're going to get down to that. But first off, let's show this dude right here from Mason, Tennessee. And I'm sure most of y'all have seen this video, so we will refresh on this dude. And I found some more local footage of this. Now, if y'all missed Sister Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur on her original channel, so the original Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur channel yesterday did an interview with the vice mayor from Mason, Tennessee. So if you want to go see the replay of that, that is in the description of this video. So without further ado, here is the man behind all of the madness. Wonderful.
Where the Ford plant's going to be that's potentially going to lose their charter. How does that get justified, and what is the situation with the finances specifically?
20 years of poor financial management in Mason. What we're trying to do is help them get on track so that they can benefit from all the development that's coming to their area.
And why is this becoming a situation now?
It's been a situation for 20 years.
Right, but why are you leaning on them now?
Well, it's just become untenable, and they've never had an opportunity. The tax-paying citizens have never had an opportunity like they do now.
It's for their own good?
It's for the good of the tax-paying citizens who are getting nothing for the taxes they're paying.
What does that mean, getting nothing?
Well, they're getting no services. So when the mayor of a city can't articulate what benefit the taxpayers are receiving from being a...
Anybody ever heard such a line from anybody in your state? I mean, I'm just listening to this. This is let me just keep it a buck. This is white supremacist meddling. And yeah, Dervis, he definitely chose his words very carefully because he know what he's doing. He know exactly what he's doing.
city, then it's time to evaluate whether they need to continue to be a city.
The timing of it, that you're now starting to pressure them right when Ford shows up, it starts to look a little more than coincidental. So I'm wondering why suddenly are you
exactly.
interested in Mason?
Because if Mason doesn't get their finances in order, the opportunity for development is going to bypass them.
The opportunity for development. So
The opportunity for neighborhoods to develop. You know, Mason doesn't have a grocery store or a gas station, and the citizens suffer from not having the ability to have those things in their communities if they don't get their finances.
This is one of the coldest parts that I peeped about this. Because, again, y'all know, I've told y'all many times, I live in Portland, Oregon. So here, there is no such thing as a food desert. So I've heard of the food desert things, but that was foreign to me. Until I started interacting with a lot of y'all out there. And y'all started telling me about how things are. I'm like, man, in my city, I have a produce stand in walking distance. And we have multiple natural different grocery chains here. So just not just one store, and I'll put it this way, Trader Joe's is the least of them. You understand what I'm saying? So for a lot of people know Trader Joe's is the least of our natural stores here. I put it to you like this. I'm very rarely I think I've been to Trader Joe's twice. But this dude here, what he has established, what they firmly established, is a food desert and an economic drain. So you've choked these people out economically from being able to get any money. See, what happens is now they can't stay in the way of all the influx of cash that will go straight through the city. So and just like we learned yesterday, there's also a whole waterways situation involved. So they want to get control of these people's assets so they can go ahead and start maximizing the money and start funneling things off to all their old boy network friends. So that's what you're seeing. Also, we learned yesterday that there's a lot more. They haven't even provided the most consistent and current audit of what they've been paying. So these people have been paying as a city, and these people that are trying to undermine them aren't even coming with the most recent data. When the hell you ever see anybody do that? So this is some slick, demonic, white supremacist BS that you are seeing right here. Let's let this devil talk some more.
Finances in order, just as we have done with other communities across the state, the comptroller will have to run their finances for a while.
What other communities does that happen to?
Jellicoe, Van Buren County, to name a couple. We make a decision about their expenditures.
They're feeling bullied, just so you know. I talked to them. So
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. There's a lot of tough decisions that need to be made, but when you can't articulate a single benefit.
Just real quick, anybody notice his tie? Just take a look at the color scheme of that tie. Is there somebody's flag who just so happens to look like that? So while he's up here being overtly racist to the Black citizens and Black leadership of Mason, Tennessee, he's up here representing for Ukraine. Good going, douchebag.
That taxpayers are receiving for the highest municipal taxes paid in Tipton County, you've got to look inward.
Yeah, I'll say. Why don't you look inward for them reparations too? Dude, what are you talking about, man? Jeez. He's bought. Absolutely. And here's the thing, because what you are looking at, the potential, once I was listening to the dollars and cents of it as she was breaking it down yesterday, and that's the vice mayor, this town stands to basically be morphed into like a old black financial throwback, because we have no black towns like this that are by factories, that are by big plants. And this is going to be a blue city, and they're building a training facility. So they're going to need the water from that place. The only way from everywhere else is through Mason. So it is basically a corridor of money. Just look at the Nipsey Hussle thing and the different things that they do. We've watched movies before where they try to they know that something is coming. Prime example. Anybody remember what's the DMX movie? What is that? DMX and Aaliyah? Is that Romeo Must Die? What was the storyline about? There was a new football stadium coming into town. They wanted to get up on that, right? Black Mama, hey. So as they wanted to get up on it, they were eliminating all of the people who wouldn't sell their property and wouldn't give it up, because they were trying to get all of the deeds so they could sell all of that as one, and then they would be instant partners. Well, fast forward to LA, right around that Crenshaw district. You got a stadium over there. The Olympics will be there. Next Olympics. Anybody see any reason that somebody would not want Nipsey Hussle's store there? Considering how he owns that whole strip mall. So if he wanted to put something else either on that spot in the time and build it within the time of getting ready for, say, the Olympics. Yeah, them Summer Olympics in LA. Right there across the street from the stadium. Woo, Lord, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And then you say, ooh, that black man that's gotten talking all of that communal economic stuff, having a cash infusion like that, kind of put things in perspective when you think about it, huh? See, we think, oh, it's just some random hater. Yeah, things can be chalked up as that. But y'all better look where that money go. Money make things get bloody. Emotions will get you yelled at and cussed at and trolled. but that green will get you red. So this right here, let's go further into it. This is them kind of explaining what this jerk does and what he's doing.
They are some of the most unique properties in Tennessee. Places like the enormous rail yard in Nashville, solar farms, electric substations, and more. The companies that own these properties must pay property taxes, and it's the job of the Tennessee Comptroller's Office of State Assessed Properties, or OSAP, to assess them.
It's something new and exciting almost every day.
Greg Moody.
Hold on, let me stop that, because that ain't the one I want. Let me get it. Where is that? Let me make sure I'm not the right one here. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Get that out of here. Because I found one. Then this is like kind of them giving the background on this dude. But yeah, check this out.
Financial and legal woes plaguing the small town of Mason, Tennessee, from questionable audits to elected officials indicted by the state for fraud and waste and abuse. Well, this week, the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury made a rare stop in Mason, urging town leaders to just give up Mason's charter. WRG's Alex Coleman tells us why.
Mind you, he shows up without the most recent audit, knowing that they've already had a financial agreement and have been paying the payments. So actually what she said yesterday, as it might turn out, they might have actually already overpaid. So this dude knew that. That's why he's not coming in there with the most recent audit. That's slick. But because how does that ever make sense? Somebody gonna hit you up for past due but don't know what you owe? Come on, man.
And what it could mean for the town.
I think certainly it was somewhat unique to see the comptroller in their town, but it also, I think, sent a message that this was a very serious situation.
John Dunn is Director of Communications with the Tennessee Comptroller's Office. He says a rare appearance Tuesday by State Comptroller Jason Mumpower was meant to be a wake-up call for the town of Mason, Tennessee.
The town of Mason has had mismanagement and financial trouble for many years now.
The state is urging Mason's elected officials to relinquish the town's charter, unincorporate, and be folded into Tipton County government. The other option is for the state to take over.
The comptroller's office would have the final say on every expenditure that is made within the town of Mason. And that is a difficult place to be. It's something that we don't do very often.
The prospect of giving up Mason's charter has stirred emotions at City Hall.
Because we know that we can and we will fight for our charter.
Vice Mayor Virginia Rivers questions the timing of the comptroller's visit, saying the state is getting serious now because Mason sits so close to where Ford's Blue Oval City will be built.
Main concern is that they allowed this to go on for so many years. And now that the mega site is coming, it seems like it's a problem, and it's a big problem.
The state comptroller's office admitting Mason's history of mismanagement presents a negative image.
Opportunity will pass it by because outside companies, outside groups aren't going to want to invest in a community where they know there's the history of mismanagement.
We inherited what had already happened. We came in trying to fix it. And without the help of anyone, we have struggled, and yes, we have made progress.
Alex Coleman, WREG-TV, News Channel 3.
At this point, Vice Mayor Rivers says the current administration is working to pay bills on time, but admits the community did take a huge economic hit when the West Tennessee detention facility closed last year.
See, makes total sense. See, so it looks like Ford is coming in right in the nick of time while whatever else they were trying to do to squeeze these black folks out and make them look bad was already well in play, but they still already been figuring it out. So, I mean, even fighting behind the 8 ball, they were still ahead of the game. So right now what you're seeing, I guess they had a meeting with him yesterday. So they will be, I guess they're supposed to be coming up with the most recent audit for 2021 because they hadn't even shown up with that. But you over here at the whole meeting talking about relinquish your charter. Don't that seem like some slick stuff going on? You don't even have the bill on what I'm, man. Hey, yo, you know, man, you owe me $1,500, right? Well, hey, where the bill at? Yeah, you know, man, I ain't really got a chance to tally it all up, but I mean, I know you owe me though, right? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Because I'm like, well, hold on, dude. So yeah, Afro League brother. When I heard the sisters, like, and I say, if y'all want to go catch the interview she did with Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur, it's in that link is in the description of this video. And she had just recently left a meeting, a Zoom call with that comptroller dude, and I think the governor was there and some more. So check that out. It was very insightful, straight from the horse's mouth. knowing what's going on the ground out there. And man, I'm thoroughly impressed with the people out there in Mason, man. I am. Sister Virginia, man, yeah, I'm not mad at y'all at all. Y'all keep pushing, man, and y'all got our energy behind y'all. Whatever word needs to be spread will be spread. So y'all see all the spaces that been going on, all the videos, all the posts, GoFundMe, so people have been reaching out, having meetings. Because it's sparking so much noise. So that's the will of the people. You got the Voices New Black Media. Shout out Queen Abadai Shakur. She's the first one who broke this story. Then you had, like I say, you got Tariq. That Tariq is like the megaphone, so he come through and can amplify the troops, and the next thing you know, you have the sister KD, who's been holding down these spaces. Next thing you know, the ball is rolling. So that says a lot. That says a lot about where things are culturally in the world right now, where things are politically in the world right now, and most importantly, why they have to throw this zaddy-loving mammy down our throat and tell us how black she is, because now she's just blackity black, 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 and some more black. So we're going to have to get into this this foolishness, which is the Ketanji Brown-Jackson Con Game. Because that's what this is. This is a con game. It's all about getting black folks to go back to sleep. That is why I made the thumbnail the way I did. And again, for those who are just tuning in, we lost Gloria Allred today. So, man, if you want to go ahead and pay your respects, there you go right there. Madeline Albright. Putting the wrong person in the grave, right? That's Gloria Allred I was thinking of. Madeline Albright. There she goes. She just passed today. Shout out to her. All right, then. It is what it is. So, back to business. The Ketanji Brown-Jackson Con Game. It's the new playbook of keeping black people voting Democrat without tangibles. And they don't want us to get no tangibles. So now we are, he said you got happy for a second. Oh, speaking of happy, yikes. There is something that, just a second, family. Just a second. Oh, Lord. I almost forgot. Now, if you are new to this channel, y'all know we sometimes have a nice little chuckle. And today will not disappoint. So, needless to say, bless their heart. I'm not sure what group this is. You said I heard it. Yeah, Gloria Allred. My bad, y'all. Don't knock on the wood. So somebody was really feeling this. And so they thought like, hey, man, I think somebody would dig this if we did this song. Let me know what y'all think of today's broadcast sponsors. The Keith Sweat wannabe background singers and praise team. Yikes. So y'all give it up for the church, y'all. Yeah, you know, hey, man, you know, they did their best. You know, y'all. Praise the Lord. Oh, man. Lord. So like I said, we tend to have fun over here. So let me see. Where's the first one I need to get off up in here? Because we got to go through this woman's thing. Because they are really putting the over extras on it. And it is really not, she is not all like, oh man, have you ever seen all the memes? Oh, you know that, look, when her sister, if y'all don't cut it out, what do you think? She do that at home with her man, with her zaddy? If y'all don't stop. Oh, look, she got her lip turned up, y'all. She really about to get the sister girl. Y'all don't cut it out. Man, y'all be putting all the extras on black folks that ain't never gave a damn about black folks, like this woman here, and just think that all of a sudden because they picked her, she give a damn about black people. Representation matters. No, a politician that actually represents your interests is what matters. Stop being political children. Lord.
Outset of those who are looking for a label, what your position is on judicial philosophy.
I am acutely aware that as a judge in our system, I have limited power, and I am trying in every case to stay in my lane.
How important is your faith to you?
Senator, personally, my faith is very important, but as you know, there's no religious test in the Constitution under Article 6, and
There will be none with me.
And it's very important to set aside one's personal views.
Would you agree that who decides is an important question in terms of determining the appropriate role for both the judiciary and the legislature?
I believe that judges are not policymakers, that we have a constitutional duty to decide only cases and controversies that are presented before us, and within that framework, judges exercise their authority to interpret the law and not make the law.
Oh, Lordy me. So, this is where it gets interesting, because you know what I did find, family? I actually found the letter that the first federal, I guess he's the first black federal judge out of the state of Alabama, who was the first one to say, yo, y'all better not nominate that chick. But, you know, she was handpicked for a reason, and I don't think people understand. Well, I'm sure some people do. And you got to know when you got somebody who was purposely chosen like she was. And again, when certain people do certain things to show what side of the fence they are on, well, you know, sometimes they reward people. So let's do something here. Let me read this first, because I want to read this letter. Okay, come on now. It's just a PDF. So, I'm finna say, come on now. All right, so this is from U.W. Clement, retired federal judge at Mountain Ridge Parkway, Birmingham, Alabama. This is dated February 4th, 2022, to the president, addressed to the White House, Washington, D.C., regarding the first black female justice of the United States Supreme Court, Dear Mr. President, it reads, as one who has labored in the vineyards of civil rights all his life, I rejoice in your determination to appoint the first Black female to the United States Supreme Court. In the tradition of Thurgood Marshall, hopefully she will stand tall for equal justice for all and equality in the workplace. As you consider the candidates for your legacy appointment to the highest court of the land, it is entirely appropriate for you to take into account not simply what each aspirant has done for her own career, but equally so, what has she done for the cause of justice and equality? Based on her conduct in Ross versus Lockheed, number 116-CV-02508-KBJ, I strongly believe that Circuit Court Judge Ketanji Brown-Jackson should not be appointed by you as the first Black female justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. The Ross case was brought as a 2016 class action on behalf of 5,500 Black workers of Lockheed Martin Corporation, the nation's largest federal contractor. Before filing the lawsuit, lawyers for the Black plaintiffs negotiated a settlement with Lockheed Martin, which provided for a reformed evaluation system, the cornerstones of pay and promotion decisions, and $22 million to be distributed to the Black workers. When the lawyers presented the settlement to Judge Jackson, she incredibly, let's get down to the next page here, where's that? She incredibly refused to approve the settlement because, in her view, there were no common factual questions. Then, more incredibly, she denied the plaintiff their fundamental right to take discovery of Lockheed Martin's books and records as they sought to prove class action status. Finally, by taking 54 days to issue her memorandum opinion, accompanying her order denying class certification, she effectively aborted plaintiff's rights to appeal her class certification decision under Rule 23F of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. See, this is a judge. We're talking about how smart she is. So either she's smart to do evil or she was just mistakenly stupid here. Y'all better be clear on what y'all look at and do your homework on these people. Don't just sit up here, go with what they tell you. This is her work. This is her work. So I don't, you can't go past go. This is the proof. Not all the fluff. This is the proof. So, reads on. So Judge Jackson and Ross, number one, gave the axe to a settlement designed to benefit numerous Black workers at one of the nation's largest employers. Number two, denied injunctive relief agreed to by Lockheed Martin that would have addressed a root cause of systemic racial bias that could have been a model for a nation hungry for racial equity solutions. Well, yeah, I guess so, being one of the world's largest contractors, don't you think? Ooh-wee, somebody is either really smart or really stupid. I don't think they choose stupid people. So we know she's smart. She's the first Black woman. Well, here's thousands of Black people. And we're going to get into the actual tragedy of what happened to these individuals right after I finish reading this. And if you can still co-sign this woman after that, well, we're going to further dig into her own words today. So Good luck sticking with that, and good luck coming back to us talking about we should vote for Democrats. Yeah, so stick around because this foot's going in your ass tonight. So, number 3, deny Black workers the right to seek evidence to prove their claim of company-wide racial discrimination. And number 4, knowingly frustrated the rights of the Black workers to appeal their decision. Each of these considerations standing alone is a bell sounding the alarm that if Judge Jackson is appointed to the Supreme Court, simple justice and equality in the workplace will be sacrificed. There are several exceptionally well-qualified Black female aspirants for the Supreme Court who have shown by their works their commitment to justice and equality. Please give each of them your favorable consideration. Thank you for your attention in this vital matter. Most respectfully, UW Clement. And he CC'd Ronald A. Klain, the White House Chief of Staff, Dana A. Rasmussen, White House Counsel, Paige L. Herwig, White House Assistant Counsel, and Cedric L. Richmond, Special Advisor to the President. So all of these people got a copy of this letter. They're all CC'd on it. So they knew what they were getting. Doesn't that kind of give you some understanding on what would make this man get her? Well, hey, man, if that ain't enough, shout out Nas Escobar. Whoops.
6 people inside a Lockheed Martin aircraft plant in Meridian, Mississippi would be dead.
911, send somebody to Lockheed.
Many had feared this day was coming.
We got a shooting at Lockheed in the industrial park northeast. Please hurry, hurry. Okay, ma'am, they're on the way.
A police videotape retraced the killer's steps through the plant, where horrified workers had begged to be saved.
Tell me where the man is that's doing the shooting. We don't know. Okay. He was on the production floor. We understand that he's ringing, but that is the last thing I know. What do we got down?
As he moved along the plant floor, where workers build U.S. military jet aircraft, the killer seemed to know who he was looking for.
He had a list, and he called his list the good niggers and the bad niggers.
What was he wearing? I don't know. Okay, okay, do you know who it is? Yes, his name is Doug Williams.
The name was no surprise to many at the plant. Doug Williams, a longtime Lockheed employee, who for more than a year made no secret that he was preparing for a race war.
Did Mr. Williams ever say to you that he was going to kill, and excuse me, I've got to say it this way, some black mother? Yes. And did you report that to anybody at management?
Yes, I did. At the age of 48, Williams was outraged when black workers at the plant complained about his racial slurs or got better paying jobs. Williams' computer login was white power.
He said, you know, one of these old days, I'm gonna come in here and kill up me a bunch of niggas, then I'm gonna kill myself.
What happened that day at the Lockheed plant was soon forgotten by the rest of the country, quickly described by the Lockheed company as just another tragic, senseless workplace shooting.
But an investigation by Primetime Live, along with documents the Lockheed company tried to keep secret, reveals there is much more to it than that. It is a story of open racism, ugly slurs, violent threats, at a plant owned by the country's largest defense contractor.
Yes, indeed. So, for those who were not aware of what that man was talking about in the letter that I just wrote or just read, that is the people, and those are the people who went through it. So listen to all of that history that's there, and she couldn't determine. This is your sister, girl. See, again, like I'm going to stress this. We need to stop being political infants. We got to know who's who. We ain't just going to sit up there and let anybody just come off up in our house. then how the hell can you just put the safety of your family in the hands of somebody to whom you won't vet? And then want us to do the rest just because we've been doing it all of this time, and my mama did it, and my grandma did it, and they all died trying to get the right to vote. No. They fought for freedom. And you know what? Freedom is not conducive simply to voting. And if voting no longer is the answer to freedom, guess what? Freedom is still freedom. So now what do? You gonna turn around and be the coward that we know y'all gonna be. I'm free in Jesus Christ. Shameful. And y'all be jumping out in these spaces. Should be jumping all off the porch too. Woo! Lord. Yikes. So let's see. Where do I want to go? Oh, one of the things, if you notice what she said, was she stays in her lane and then talk about how much power she has and don't have, being the Supreme Court justice. So as she's trying to get into this position, she's literally downplacing the whole situation, or downplaying it. So let's hear something. Where we at? Let's see. Let's do this one first. So let's see. Let's check this out.
A little bit about I think you were a part of a case in Massachusetts that some people are casting as a pro-life versus pro-choice issue. Now, to be clear, I am Catholic and I am pro-life, and I'm proud to have signed and ratified pro-life bills in North Carolina when I was Speaker of the House that have withstood judicial scrutiny. But I don't really think that case was about pro-life. I think it was about free speech. So I want to ask you a few questions about it. And maybe you could describe it to me if your memory serves you. But it seems to me that the argument that you were a part of, I think that you joined with a couple of others. It seemed as if the argument was because pro-life protesters were
he's trying to figure out how to word it the right way.
Women attempting to enter the clinic. I'm not necessarily saying you put those words in the brief, but they were in there, and they were a hostile, noisy crowd in the face of protesters. Now, am I correct that a part of the argument was because they were noisy, in-your-face protesters, they needed to be a little bit further away than people who were pro-choice advocates? Because as I understand it, I think the underlying law in Massachusetts was ultimately struck down unanimously by the Supreme Court. Is that correct?
Thank you, Senator. The brief that you...
Oh, by the way, I didn't expect you to respond to my riff on packing the court.
Yes.
Just to net it out, it's a bad idea. But back on this.
I understand. The brief that you are referencing was a brief that I worked on right after finishing my Supreme Court clerkship when I joined a big law firm in Massachusetts. This is maybe 2000 at the end of my clerkship. And it is a First Amendment free speech set of arguments that the lawyers at my firm, I was a part of a team representing clients who wanted to make an argument about buffer zones, which at that time had not yet been litigated all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Was it a buffer zone that put pro-life and pro-choice people in the same buffer, or one that argued that pro-life people were in your face and perhaps needed a bit bigger buffer than pro-choice? I was just trying to
no, I believe that it was viewpoint neutral, meaning it wasn't about what the people were saying. It was about clearing a path
Yeah.
to allow people to enter the clinic. The laws at the time were about how far
Yeah.
did people have to be kept back, whether they were pro-life or
But
pro-choice.
he already
because
identified
if they
two
were
groups being
blocking the
treated
entrance-
differently.
Do you understand why the underlying law was ultimately deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court?
I didn't follow the jurisprudence at that time. It had not been, and the First Circuit. This was a First Circuit brief. I don't remember what happened in the district court, but my clients wanted to argue in the First Circuit that the laws that allowed for the clearing of the path so that people could enter the clinic and have people stand back were constitutional and important, and the First Circuit agreed. I think ultimately, I don't know exactly, but I think ultimately, as you say, there was some litigation that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the court had other jurisprudence about the extent to which buffer zones are constitutional.
Yeah. Well, it looked at. I'm not an attorney. I watch Law and Order from time to time, and I'm not going to get into a debate, but
Wow.
on its face, it almost looked as if there was this notion that there was bad speech and good speech. That somehow, look, I'm somebody who's had protesters come to my house, get in my face, and be very nasty 4 times.
Let's get clear. So see how we're making the pivot? Y'all catching that? You see the pivot? I've had protesters. Those were not pro-life or pro-choice protesters that came to your house. Those were, you want to throw it out there, well, those are Black Lives Matter. That's what he's talking about. Get in his face.
2 times by land and 2 times by sea. I live on a lake.
Cut it
okay
out.
with them doing it as long as they stay off my lawn. In the last case, they didn't. But it almost felt like to me that those protesters who didn't like me needed to be a little bit further away than the protesters that maybe I would allow to be a little bit closer. It may not be right, but I'll make sure that I get my facts right before this afternoon in the second round. I want to go to sentencing. I'm not going to cover any of the ground that my colleagues have. I'm sympathetic to some of it, not necessarily all of it, because of the details.
That would be, I guess, they were talking about her light sentencing on sex crimes and I guess more importantly, child sex crimes and child porn cases. So I guess her sex offender history sentencing isn't all that favorable for people who are looking for more stringent some more stringent laws, in that area. So it's kind of interesting. And here's a woman, again, I'm talking about a Black woman, sister girl, the most disrespected woman, protect Black women. Here's something that we got to seriously look at about that protect Black women law. You can always be protected by your community. If you find yourself separating from your community to identify with other people, then your protection is still right here. When you veer out, then you got away from your protection. That's where Jussie Smollett is recognizing. Yeah, you started wanting to be something else, and they had to show you, oh, no, you still that. You can come play over here, but no, ain't nobody coming to your rescue. Look at Brittany Griner. The only people talking about her Black. She all LGBT with a whole wife and everything. They just put Niecy Nash and her wife on the cover of Essence? Don't you think you want to do something about your sister over there too? Guess she ain't really worth the price of admission by y'all standards. See, everybody can say, well, misogyny and this and that. Man, please, before you can even get to us, why the hell ain't y'all saying something? Because we can hear how I could see 1,000 videos in a day about how synthetic is right. Oh, she's right. And the comments is loaded how black men ain't this. Well, there's a whole bunch of women who wanted to forego their protection. That's what makes it so crazy to me. Protect me, but you ain't shit. Protect me, you ain't shit. Protect me, you ain't shit. How that make sense? That's the logic we have in our community. That's how jacked up our relationships are. So with that being said, this woman doesn't give a damn about women victims, children victims, or black victims of somebody who you know are overtly, blatantly racist, and you could have put procedures in place that would have set a legal precedent for black people, employees, to get treated in a certain manner that would have benefited our generation and the generation behind us already right now. 2016, you had the opportunity to make such a shift. 2016. How Democrat is she? What I will tell you is she's pro-white supremacy. So as mad black as she is and as braided as her hair can be, she is pro-white supremacy. And if you can't figure that out, well then you are welcoming the notion of being conned. And I don't know why you would want to do that. Willfully be conned. That's a fool. You know, so we will have to take a pass on that for the most of us. So let's go to the next part.
Today when Senator Whitehouse, I think it was Senator Booker, who observed Senator Whitehouse's presentation, made a comment about how Rhode Island, New Jersey being a bit bigger, would have a bigger graphic to display. I went back, I think that New Jersey is 6 times the size of Rhode Island by square miles. North Carolina is 36 times the size of Rhode Island. And before my friends from Texas chime in, I would let them know that if Alaska were 2 states, they'd be the 3rd largest state. So I'm decided to use the White House format for dark money so that we have a balanced understanding of the fact that our proceedings here, the aspirations for the court, there is an ecosystem out there on both sides. As a matter of fact, we had a judicial nominee who actually participated in this ecosystem. I think you could reasonably assume if they participated in that ecosystem that they probably would have been an activist judge. The point that I make here is that we've seen this ecosystem mobilized to support you, and I think, Judge Jackson, you said you haven't had any encounter with Demand Justice. I don't know if you...
This part is very interesting because what is it that I say us getting reparations would affect globally? It's a word he keeps using. So usually when you hear ecosystem, it's like, oh yeah, here's the wind, the air, the nature, ecosystem, how things are affecting in nature. Well, you have to look at it in their perspective. This is the natural order of things, meaning ecosystem. If they're even looking at an ecosystem of so-called justice, why would you need an ecosystem of justice? Either justice is blind or it's not. Just an observation.
You've had any encounter with some of these that are abbreviated, or I'm sorry, either acronyms or abbreviated, so I wouldn't expect you to. It would be interesting if we could, for the record, determine if you have had any interactions, but with respect...
I have not, Senator. I've never seen most of those.
That's good enough for me. I wouldn't expect you to be honest, sitting on the bench, but they are out there, and they have a specific plan. And their specific plan, as a matter of fact, I was inspired by Senator Whitehouse's seat, so I went out to demand justice. They have a specific plan. Step one, 4 seats on the Supreme Court. We must add 4 seats on the Supreme Court to restore balance, which by their opinion is a majority with their view and their judicial philosophy. They're thrilled that President Biden has promised to appoint a commission. In fact, they're so thrilled that they want to make sure that they can influence the outside of the commission by endorsing their 4-seat strategy. They want to recruit 25,000 volunteers. This is on their website, their strategy, to influence the commission's recommendation. And then they want to nuke the filibuster.
Now, I hope y'all are listening to what's going on here, because I'm sure a lot of people do not pay much attention to what goes on in these hearings, as much as you should, because you do not trust what they tell you, because the stuff you hearing, you don't hear broken down on the news, man. What he is basically talking about is this judicial ecosystem to make sure things don't get too equal. This is what Ketanji has been chosen for. That's why it's a black woman being in this space. They need a black woman who is already vetted, showing that she will toe the same line as Clarence Thomas. This time, you killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because all of these Negroes who cannot vouch for Kamala Harris being black, well, we finally got a sister girl. And of course, she still has a zaddy. We'll never really be able to get around that, because we're not going to get a black family to represent anything attached to Joe Biden. But, you know, this is second best black woman, you know, so this will shut so many people up, because there's this other crazy hypocrisy in black culture, that if a black man gets success, or a black man is just looking to be in whatever lane he want to be in and start dating outside of his race, he's looked at a certain way. But then when these women are coming into these positions, those same women who are hating on those men are praising this woman, to whom I've already shown you her record. So this is a woman who you don't even know is any good, means you any good or not. But you just blindly jump over. I mean, this is a cold condition that we are under as a group. And I really hope that we could get from under that, because it is a wreck. That's why speak intentional to folks, and then make sure you listen intentionally, like you should be listening to what this dude is saying right now.
51 votes to make a decision that could ultimately be to pack the courts. This is their stated goal. They're proud of it. Senator Whitehouse was talking about how the prior president was influenced by an organization. I would say that Senator Jackson and almost everybody that the president vetted before, Judge Jackson, are on this list. So I think it's intellectually dishonest to say that the administration, that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, are not influenced by this organization. We've tracked some of the fundraising and support in re-elections. They're engaged, and they're influenced by it. But let me tell you what I'm really worried about with the court packing risk that we have today.
Yeah, let's hear that.
We're talking about the ultimate destruction of 2 institutions. Back in January, Senator Schumer laid a vote down on the floor that ultimately would have reduced the majority of 60, the filibuster limit of 60, to 51. He was doing it as a way to pass a single bill, but we all know what happened when Senator Reid nuked the executive calendar for circuit court judges. It led to you only being subject to 51 votes to be confirmed. That nuked the executive calendar. In January, Senator Schumer was laying the groundwork for the same thing.
You seeing the setup for this?
I worry
Waltz
that's
right
the
on in,
destruction
huh?
of the Senate institution, as far as I'm concerned. I think we have to be a consensus-based organization. We don't need to be a 100-member House of Representatives. And that vote happened. What disappointed me most about that vote is back when President Trump was calling on us and pressuring us to nuke the filibuster, when we had control of Congress, I signed on to a letter with more than 60 members to say that I would never do that in the face of in the face of a Republican president whose policies I supported. I did that to send a very clear message. I respect this institution, and I respect the court, which almost certainly would have been, we would have had pressure from our side of the aisle.
Okay, and I'll stop him there, because what I want you to understand right here, this is an argument of understanding. You know what I mean? So what you're hearing is an argument of understanding of both sides, of the condition that they are in. So you basically you're doing this whole political theater here to make sure that everybody can see how black she is. You're telling us how black she is. Damn stop. She's so black. But nothing. They found one black woman she went to college with to speak for. That's neither here nor there. And then her friends. I mean, shoot, they found Amber Geiger, some random crackhead to go ahead and get a hold to. So I mean, come on now. So let's just get into this part. So let's get into the Ted Cruz section.
Anti-Racist Baby by Ibram Kendi. And there are portions of this book that I find really quite remarkable. One portion of the book says babies are taught to be racist or anti-racist. There is no neutrality. Another portion of the book, they recommend to babies confess when being racist.
Back something up real quick.
Says babies are taught to be.
Okay, that's what I thought he said. Not babies are born racist. Babies are taught. Meaning, if those babies are your kids, Ted, that means you taught them the racism. This isn't an indictment on your children. It's an indictment on the system to which you came up in and to which now you are further perpetuating to another generation of your own offspring to further oppress, aggravate, and stifle black folk. So yeah, that's the kind of the part that you're overlooking there, Ted. Is that actually the white supremacist villain in this story is you.
Racist or anti-racist, there is no neutrality. Another portion of the book, they recommend to babies confess when being racist. Now, this is a book that is taught at Georgetown Day School to students in pre-K through second grade, so 4 through 7 years old. Do you agree with this book that is being taught with kids that babies are racist?
Senator.
First off, ain't pre-K ain't a state. I know it ain't in my state. Does the state pay for pre-K where y'all from? They damn sure don't hear you paying out of pocket for pre-K.
I do not believe that any child should be made to feel as though they are
racist, or though they are not valued, or though they are less than, that they are victims, that they are oppressors. I don't believe in any of that. But what I will say is that.
Okay. Notice everything she just addressed there. For anybody who is black, thinking that she is somehow on black folks' side and she is somehow not siding with white people, all up with her head up a white man's ass, you are completely wrong. And this is why you're wrong. Look at what she responded to. This is actually a book with a victim. Who did she make the victim? She didn't talk about the people who were getting racism applied to them, because we already know how she feels about that. No, what she needed to do was make the racists feel better about being racist. Did you catch it? This is how you know all skin folk ain't kin folk. And just because she a black woman over there and smart, being anti-black while in black skin ain't no good thing for us.
When you asked me whether or not this was taught in schools, critical race theory, my understanding is that critical race theory as an academic theory is taught in law schools. And to the extent that you were asking the question, I understood you to be addressing public schools. Georgetown Day School, just like the religious school that Justice Barrett was on the board of, is a private school.
Okay, so you agree critical race theory is taught at Georgetown Day School?
I don't know, because the board is not, the board does not control the curriculum. The board does not focus on that. That's not what we do as board members. So I'm actually not sure.
Well, and I'll note that the board is chaired by Professor Fairfax, your college roommate who introduced you yesterday. So the two of you serve on the board together. Another book that is on the summer reading for 3rd through 5th grade is a book called Stamped for Kids, again by Ibram Kendi. I read the entirety of the book, and I will say it is an astonishing book. On page 33, it asks the question, can we send white people back to Europe? That's on 33. That's what's being given to 8 and 9 years old. It also, on page 115, says the idea that we should pretend not to see racism is connected to the idea that we should pretend not to see color. It's called color blindness. Skipping ahead, here's what's wrong with this. It's ridiculous. Skin color is something we all absolutely see. Skipping ahead, so to pretend not to see color is pretty convenient if you don't actually want to stamp out racism in the first place. Now, with
and never forget, family.
Bringing the children into it any more than we have to. We're doing it for the children, but I don't feel that they are old enough to understand the problem as it is.
Do you think a Negro family moving here will affect the community as a whole?
Definitely.
In what way?
I think that, well, the property values will immediately go down if they are allowed to move in here in any number.
And what of the dream of middle-class respectability? If a Negro family can afford what you can afford, how do you justify your feeling of superiority? What other...
Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
this book argues for is the exact opposite of what Dr. King spoke about on the floor of the Lincoln Memorial. And
hold on there, devil. We need to correct you there, Satan. See, here's the problem when you put the devil starts misquoting righteousness. And let's be clear, not being see, here's where devils try to move in the dishonesty. Ted, the book you're reading is all about character, not much about skin, considering how it never identified one skin or the other. It only identified patterns of behavior. So what you're demonstrating that I'm seeing is you just naturally have a pattern of behavior that you're trying to put a color on. And what we're saying is, no, we just put the content of character on. You, the devil. See, devil just simply means deceiver. And look at what you're doing right now. See, you're just being the devil. I mean, so it ain't like anybody could call you that because you're white. I'm calling you the devil because the devil is the content of your character. Clearly, because you're just trying to twist the truth right now, like a devil would.
Are you comfortable with these ideas being taught to children as young as 4 in respect to the first book, as young as 8 and 9 in respect to the second book?
Senator, I have not reviewed any of those books, any of those ideas. They don't come up in my work as a judge, which I...
That means I'm not really into all of that black stuff. I mean, I wouldn't see it. Panthers? No. I mean, my idol's Oprah Winfrey, man. When all of that black militant stuff was going on, I wanted to be a white woman.
I'm respectfully here to address.
Oh, I gotta find the other one here too, because they really. Now, here's the one thing for the white women. White women want to make sure that they're taken care of, because abortion is something very important to the future handmaids. So they need to they because really the whole abortion thing is about them fighting their own men. That ain't got nothing to do with us. We are a byproduct of it if we can thin our numbers out. But I mean, hey, you got enough other stuff that done came and went to kind of aid to that cause. But, you know, time will tell. So let me see this other piece here. You know something? Yeah, no, I'm going to play that in a minute, because I'm going to go back real quick and just revisit something on how they so quickly confine their tongue when it comes down to black folk. Let's see, is this it? Maybe this is it. Let me see. Okay, let's see if this is it.
On something you said when you were in private practice. You made your views on pro-life and the pro-life movement very clear.
You on that pro-life thing,
in
ain't
fact,
they?
you attacked pro-life women. And this was in a brief that you wrote. You described them, and I'm quoting, hostile, noisy crowd of in-your-face protesters, end quote. And you advocated against these women's First Amendment right to express their sincerely held views regarding the sanctity of each individual life. And I'm a pro-life woman. 79% of the American women support restrictions of some type on abortion. And so I find it incredibly concerning that someone who is nominated to a position with life tenure on the Supreme Court holds such a hostile view toward a view that is held as a mainstream belief that every life is worth protecting. So how...
intersectional idiots. I need you to understand, all of those of you who think that, oh, well, we all women, and we all women. If you think we all men, you just as stupid as they think you are. Because look here, black men are the enemy of the white supremacist male. Black women are the enemy of the white supremacist woman. However, the only difference is y'all will find some of this sick, fake camaraderie around these people to believe that, oh, well, they won't say anything about my community, but we are women, so it's going to benefit me too. Where is that evident in a tangible form in this country? What? I mean, because there should be something flourishing by now, correct? No. If anything, you just have the best you're going to get is a gay bar, a lesbian bar. That's it. That's the bulk of your up. See, they won't even, have you ever seen a black gay couple in y'all city owning a convenience store? I'll wait. See, we talking about the economics of it. See how they squeeze you out? They know what they're doing. Now, when I'm telling you and breaking it down to you about what they're doing, don't be mad at me, because it was them who wanted you not to know this. But no one's half the battle. So now you know what to fight.
How do you justify that incendiary rhetoric against pro-life women?
Thank you, Senator. The brief that you're referring to was a brief that I filed on behalf of clients who were clients of my law firm. This is in, I believe, 1999 or 2000, maybe 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
I was an associate at a law firm, and I had appellate experience because I had just finished my Supreme Court law clerk.
I want to say this too. Incendiary rhetoric, absolutely, Louise. She's only been, look at this short amount of time, and you all are proud that she is from the walls into being on the Supreme Court. She has a position for life at this young age, at this little young time in her career. She hasn't even been on the Supreme Court in her, where she's from. She's a circuit court judge. She's like a county judge. And now she's going to go to y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all are really not paying attention. Y'all thinking they just got her for the aesthetics of it? Hell no. She is there to be, man, what y'all kind of looking at is like a Jesse Lee Peterson meets Synthetic G in a judge. Does that put it in perspective for you? You do not have a friend here.
Position. And in the context of my law firm, I was asked to work on a brief concerning a buffer zone issue. In Massachusetts at the time, there were laws protecting women who wanted to enter clinics, and there was a First Amendment question about the degree to which there had to be room around them to enter the clinic.
Right.
And
I understand all of that. I'm asking about the rhetoric.
Senator, I drafted a brief along with the partners in my law firm who reviewed it, and we filed it on behalf of our client.
Okay.
To advance our clients' arguments that they wanted to make in the case.
Let me ask you this. When you go to church and knowing there are pro-life women there, do you look at them, thinking of them in that way, that they're noisy, hostile, in your face? Do you think of them? Do you think of pro-life women like me that way?
Senator, that was a statement in a brief made an argument for my client. It's not the way that I think of or characterize people.
All right. Thank you for the clarification.
See how she's minding?
On that, because...
See how she just naturally falls into minding her place? She feels real comfortable doing that, huh? when it come down to like this old white woman just checking her, she felt real comfortable. She feels uncomfortable. But hey, Ketanji, what do you think about? I don't know. But there's scientific studies. But then when you got this woman up here chastising, oh yes, ma'am. Oh ma'am. Oh yes, you so right. Oh ma'am. I just want to be respectable, ma'am. I don't want to make it, man. I don't need no trouble, ma'am. Oh, I just don't want to cause you no. I don't want to make you. I don't want to make you mad at me, Miss Ann. I'm saying. Oh Lord, she fell right on into it. Like, oh yeah, she's real comfortable. I'll pat your hair too, please.
I think even zealous advocacy doesn't allow that type of rhetoric on a free speech issue. You know, Roe v. Wade, let's talk a little bit about that.
You be a
It's
good
come
little
up,
Christian now,
touch
Negro.
today. In my opinion, that was an awful act of judicial activism and has cost the lives of over 63 million unborn children. And nearly 50 years later, this shameful ruling remains binding precedent, but the battle is being fought in the courts. And as you know, and as we discussed when we visited, the Supreme Court is reconsidering whether the Constitution protects the right to an abortion in Dobbs. And if you're confirmed, you will be in a position to apply the court's decision in Dobbs, whatever that decision is going to be. And you've talked about following precedent.
How does this
and
work
what the court
for
decides.
the
So do
black
you
community
commit
with
to
her being in
respecting
this
the court's
situation
decision
for so long?
if it rules that Roe was wrongly decided and that the issue of abortion should be sent back to the states?
Senator, whatever the Supreme Court decides in Dobbs will be the precedent of the Supreme Court. It will be worthy of respect in the sense that it is the precedent, and I commit to treating it as I would any other precedent of this.
There's one other thing. One of the central issues in the Dobbs case is about whether the Constitution protects the right to an abortion. So let's talk about that. Can you explain to me on a constitutional basis the court's decision in Roe, and where is abortion protected in the Constitution?
She's a judge. She should know
Senator,
this. All them smarts and all.
Abortion is a right that the Supreme Court has recognized in the is one of the kinds of rights that is unenumerated. It is in that same category of rights that the Supreme Court has recognized.
But the text of the Constitution does not mention abortion.
That is true.
That is true. That is correct. So you agree that the Constitution does not mention the right to an abortion, and yet, through one of the most brazen acts of judicial activism, our Supreme Court created the right through Roe v. Wade. This is why Americans,
Are y'all hearing this? Because they don't tell you this on the news now, do they? Y'all better turn that CNN off. And come over here and get with some understanding, man. Turn that garbage off. Because, yeah, this is the stuff that y'all need to be listening to. If y'all be giving their commentary is there to mislead you. You understand me?
this is why so many women that I've talked to are really concerned about who sits on the federal bench.
Check this out. I think this
is for the word woman.
Can I provide a definition? No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
So if you weren't clear about what the actual question was, we'll play it again.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of
Hey, women in my audience here, do you know what a woman is? The definition of a woman is? I mean, considering how most of you women in my chat, I assume, are not, if not all, at least mostly women. If you identify as something and then not totally, okay, I didn't know, but yeah, all of a sudden you wouldn't know how to identify it. Well, what do you describe a male? Huh? Like, you're literally asking a black woman, and she's like, I don't know what the definition. I'm not a biologist. You're a judge, and you can't give me the basic term of, because by a judge, they have to learn all of these Latin, different terms and all of this. So you know what some of these words mean down to the Latin and the Greek translations. I call shenanigans. Now, she full of crap, and she's just avoiding the question. Let me see. Is this the other? Let's see this. No, let me get to this other. Because this is the good one. So yeah, just let you know kind of where her vibe is, man. She is not anywhere on no type of level. Is this it? She's nowhere on no type of level for black folks. So understand that she is never going to buck the system. She is completely there just to be a buffer to further ensure black folks are remaining as a permanent underclass. So now, real quick, I'm going to make a quick shift because I just want to show you the difference on when the media actually is talking about someone who is for black people. And, I'm going to get, so let me see. I'm going to have to put me something up there. Wait a minute. Because this is real interesting. Do I have? I sure wish I had me a picture of the brother right here, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to give y'all this right here. Yeah, we're going to roll with this. Let me get that banner off so y'all can read all of it. And then I'm going to play this little quick video real quick. And y'all just take a good little listen. And let me know what y'all think.
Talk about Twitter for a sec. First of all, clap if you are on Twitter. Okay, a lot of people. Okay, so they say now, whoever they are, that they will not suspend the account of Louis Farrakhan after he tweeted, quote, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm an anti-termite.
Because that's better.
The First Amendment, what is his problem with Jews? The Jews did not own slaves. I don't know what his issue is.
He has said things. Hitler was a great man. The Jews have been so bad at politics.
He tweeted in July, the satanic Jew and a synagogue of Satan.
He is an anti-Semite, but the First Amendment states that Congress shall make no law prohibiting free speech. So does it cover this despicable, disgusting statement and others that are like this? Does the First Amendment cover that?
It generally does. I mean, first day of constitutional law, you learn that the speech that you hate the most is the speech that you protect the most, because it's such a slippery scale. Once you start policing speech,
but name calling is
it's
not
a
hate
problem.
speech when you call people.
No, it's
an
pretty
entire group of people.
It's pretty protected. But I think the issue that Twitter has always had. I mean, law hasn't caught up with technology, of course, and it's going to be a long time. If you think about it, Twitter has 500 million tweets a day. There is no way to police it. But once Twitter finds out about, is put on notice, I don't understand why 12 years in, they have no protocol. Like, all they've done is unverified Farrakhan. I mean, I remember
they have a new policy. Just let me read this one thing. Twitter's new policy on dehumanizing speech, which is what this is set to go into effect later this year.
But I'm sorry, but they have banned accounts. James Woods, Roger Stone, Milo Yiannopoulos, Candace Owens, all been banned for their speech. My problem is, I had an experience after my father died when I was still at his funerals where a picture went viral of someone who had put a picture of me crying over my father's casket with a Glock pointed at my head, and it went viral. It was up all day. The only reason it was taken down is because my husband went absolutely ape crap, got involved, called people he knew who worked in Congress to get involved. Congress people have now testified in Jack Dorsey. He said it was inappropriate, it should have been taken down further. He said he would apologize to me. He has not, by the way, continued, for adding more pain to the head of Twitter. Adding more pain in my life during the worst point in time in my life. Technology has real ramifications. It made that
Oh, really, ma'am? Okay, I think I can do this. I just can't play them at the same time. But that's who you hear talking. Ain't that McCain? Man, your whole daddy tried to keep Arizona from even celebrating Martin Luther King holiday, for those of y'all who are old enough to remember. So, ma'am, miss me.
experience exponentially more painful.
Of course.
Now, I have a husband who knows Congress people. My father was a sitting senator, so it got taken.
Oh, and Joy Behar, you absolutely wrong. First ship in 1536 was called Good Ship Jesus. That was a ship owned by Jews, otherwise known as the Rothschild family, banking family of Germany. Those are the people who were funding the Good Ship Jesus, if you did not know. Also, other thing that was on that ship, as well as rum and spices, was opium. Because yes, if you didn't know, the first drug runners of America were also the same people who owned that slave ship. That's probably why they like talking about 1619 instead of 1536.
Down at some point. What if you are somebody who lives in Ohio, who has something like this doctored, who doesn't have this kind of access? They have to do better.
That's right.
They have to do better than it.
I had a situation last season that you guys know about. Someone tweeted at me like a noose and said that I should be lynched.
Horrific.
And I was like, my gosh, that's a threat.
You just had one.
I emailed
it's horrible.
Twitter, and basically they were like, sorry, it doesn't violate our policies. I was like, okay, no, hold on a minute. But I had ABC
Abby
News
just had a threat.
make sure that they took it down.
When Kathy Griffin did
It's
that
power.
thing with Trump's the head, that whole thing, she was
But
vilified
when we're
far and wide. Why is this
But
allowable?
when you're talking about free speech,
It was allowed.
there are limitations. You can't have child porn on the internet. We still
There are
live in a
limitations.
civilized society where you can't have death threats against people after their father dies and keep it up. And by the way, we were talking about their national security threats. We still have Russia propaganda bots, trying to infiltrate our
And they're on
perspective.
Twitter.
You just had a threat.
I get it. We all do at this table. We get it all the time. But I had a threat. I've had it before where they want to chop up my body into pieces and watch me drown in my own blood. Threats against my children. It happens. The question is, where do you draw that line? Full disclosure, I recently had coffee with Jack Dorsey, who is CEO of Twitter, a few months ago. I think he's in over his head. He understands there's a problem. There has,
but he's
Let's point out something. Here's a bunch of white women ranting. What are they ranting about? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Because they didn't like what he says. And they often misquote what he says. Always take it out of context. I've watched that happen by watching them misquote a speech I actually watched. You know, so I've literally watched the deception that they use when it comes down to positive pro-black uplifting speech, especially with Farrakhan always bringing a positive message for black folk. And so when he does that, you have these people out here like, oh my God, I can't stand it. Oh, it's hate speech. What do we do? Can't we stop him? Because he's going to say these people are this and this people are that. Okay, well, then what's the other step that they're doing? Because they know Farrakhan is an elderly man, and Farrakhan is already telling you, that he is counting down his days to make it to the wheel. So if that's where his focus is right now, they already know, well, shoot, there is something coming else behind us. And truth be told, over there, I think they are going to be just fine. If our brother, is no longer with us for whichever reason, whether he is lifted up like Elijah, as he's put in the dirt as anyone else. If that's the case, they're going to be in good hands because, they have one of their main founders, the founder, Elijah Muhammad, his son is who would be left. And Brother Ishmael Muhammad seems to be a very solid leader. So they good over there. And the one thing I like about them is the structure that they bring to individuals. And you got people who never had structure in their life before. Like my partner used to be a gangbanger. You know what I'm saying? People would say he had the Bible and the strap and a blue rag on the tables at all times. This is how he was rocking. And this brother been down with the nation for, since the 90s now. So, and, well-respected brother. And so, all throughout my different relationships, I've just, I definitely have to respect how they conduct themselves just as organization as men and the women alike. So though I'm not a part or a member, I'm not under Islam as a religion, religious practice, but they always show me love, and it's always good that you might even have a plate coming my way, because anybody know me, I'm a steelhead fish man. So let's put that on out there. I love me some steelhead. If y'all ain't never had no steelhead and you only had salmon, steelhead is like fatty salmon. So like salmon with the flavor kind of cranked up. So they kind of look alike if you saw both fish. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to get some out of steelhead, because if you see steelhead on the East Coast, it came from out here. Get it. It might be a little spendy, I don't know what they're going to hit you over the head for out there. If you can get you a nice little fillet for, say, they're going to tax y'all. So I say they should be nowhere more than $12.99 a pound. And I know Kroger should have them. So if y'all fool with Kroger should have them, because they got the whole supply chain coming from the Northwest. So y'all get our rockfish, and y'all should be getting. So right, if y'all don't know, rockfish is snapper. It's a clean fish, and also steelhead, which is also another clean fish, and it looks just like salmon without added color. If you're able to get Pacific salmon, get it. King salmon, do not let that pass you up. Trust me. Steelhead is a river fish. Steelhead is a river fish just like salmon. So those, they pretty much swim in the same channels. So up here you got Chinook salmon. Well, we up here talking about food again, ain't we? We was talking about Food Friday. Chinook salmon, but king salmon. So Chinook is our, like, that's where the territory we are in. So this is like, you can find somebody with fresh salmon on the side of the road. You find some native Choctaws out here, they'll be posted up. You'll see the signs, and then you'll see them out there at that pickup truck with a bunch of coolers on the back. Yeah, they get their money out here, man. Trust me. If you ever blow through the Northwest and see anybody out there, you see the Native Americans out there with that fish, you better go treat yourself. Treat yourself. Because, hey, man, we are in Chinook country, Tillicum, and Choctaw and Blackfoot. So, there's a lot of surrounding, and currently where I live is stolen land. So we actually do know where our stolen territories are in our city. Food is life. Yeah, still here. If you look it up, Booginis, it'll look pretty much like salmon, but it is a slightly fattier fish, but it's lean. So it's still a lean fish, just like salmon. It just has a little more fat. So when you cook it, that real deep flavor that you get in salmon, if it's like fresh, still it is like that consistent. I'm talking about consistently. So yeah, if you ever get a chance to get our fish from out here, treat yourself, please. Best fish you're gonna be able to get your hands on outside of getting some of them big old snappers from Jamaica. And oh yeah, I do those too. Matter of fact, we just made one of them not too long ago. Shoot, I made one of them a couple weeks ago. Big old snapper. So yeah, that's another thing we do. We might have to get into that eventually. So pretty much, I think I got what we needed to discuss about this Ketanji woman, because let me see. You know what? I'm going to play this one because I want to play how they're kind of presenting her. And we pretty much know here the reason why they're presenting her the way they are. And it's all about making sure we stay on that Democrat plantation with our heads so gone and she's just black, and and let me keep it a buck. I look at her, it's like I don't, she reminds me of a homegirl of mine, to be quite honest. She really reminds me of a homegirl of mine. And that they have the same kind of ability to communicate. Great communicators. And man, that's a problem. That's a problem when your intents are bad. When your intentions are bad, it just makes it terrible. So we have to look at the actual work she's done, because outside of what people are just trying to tell us about the black girl magic and yes, and she will rise and all. Come on, man. I need to know more than that. I don't need to know she gonna rise. That's cool. And there's a whole, man. Words. Okay, let me see if I can. Because when I say they're going overboard, oh Lord. Oh man. Man, understatement of the year. Let me see if I can pull this up. Hopefully this will come up. All right, we're going to do that. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can get this in here. Now, have any of y'all in my chat played this for your play my stuff for like your family that who's on the cusp? Have y'all played that shit for the person who's like, yeah, I just don't know. Well, maybe you should listen to Beatzilla. He did a video just about this. Oh, come on. Gotta be kidding. All right. Let's see. No, window. I want... Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So hopefully my window is in here. I'm trying to get to this page, so bear with me real quick. I had to go into, I had to open a whole nother window because I got to show y'all this Instagram page. This Instagram page is a beast, y'all. And when I see it, I'm like, okay, y'all just really, really doing the most. Let's see. Is this it? Where we at here? This one. And we got so many people. They are just so giddy over this. Oh man, she will rise. She will rise. What? So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Shout out to my moderator. Shout out to Viewer One. So, okay, we got this here. There we go. There we go. All right, so y'all can see that, right? Oh, Lord. Wait. Let's go back. Hold on now. How did it just do that? Go back to the page I was at. There we go. All right. Sister SCOTUS. Y'all see that? She will rise. So somebody just started this channel. Hashtag she will rise. Using black girl magic to save the country by getting the first black woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Man, by doing what? Like, we're hearing everything she is. She's a handpicked person. She's already done things to keep 2016. That is 5,500 black folks that got completely screwed by this woman. And then a few years after that, had to go straight into a pandemic. Is anybody counting up those costs? Oh, let's look further at the pander here. All right. We will rise. See, this is a whole movement. And if you haven't noticed, it's a gender war movement under the guise of we are supporting our sister who don't support black folks at all. You think all 5,500 people was men? No, it was supposed to set a precedent about equality in the workplace, which these women on your screen are supposed to be about. So the woman that they're actually celebrating is completely against it. That's why there was a black federal judge to tell you so. But I guess his expertise ain't good enough. So here, let's just keep pushing it down your throat. Look at all of this. Join the fight to confirm her. Activists and hosts. And so all I see is a bunch of misguided shills who are put out here as activists because you've never heard of these people. By the way, I wrote down a question. Anybody know of this woman? before yesterday? You know, this reminds me of Dr. Kizmiki. Just saying, kind of reminds me of the same thing. Let's keep rolling. Ketanji Sirleaf. That's interesting. Sister SCOTUS Toolkit. Black women have been serving as lawyers since 1872. We will rise. Who's afraid of Ketanji Brown? Come on, man. Y'all seen all this fakery? Trust your voice, unless it's a black man, I guess. Well, you pro-black sisters out here, you woke sisters. Thank you, President Biden, for fulfilling your promise to elevate a black woman to SCOTUS. Hey, black women of Sister SCOTUS or whatever. His promise wasn't to black women. His promise was to black people. See, y'all have to understand the game. When you see stuff like this, oh boy, there you go. Look at this over here. Representation matters. Qualified, capable, and ready to serve. And yeah. And so let's go back to that picture again. Let's just pull that back up there. See, there you go. And this one as well. Being qualified doesn't make that person quality. Understanding the game. And now I'm hoping y'all understand this game as clearly as it can be laid out, because these people mean us no good as a community. They mean us no good as a tribe. They mean us no good overall, and they have always shown us where we stand with them. So there is no reason to look at them as any less than. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, you know, you wouldn't serve yourself any purpose by looking at them as any less than. This has been a system of perpetual hatred toward you. And now they want you to start crying for stuff like this colors of this flag. That's why we not praying for that over here. We praying for and standing for our situations over here. Nothing more and nothing less. And then also this, we're not taking part in foolery like this, because at the end of the day, we're smart enough to know you ain't ever putting white women as your target. So we know who the target's going to be. The target's going to be black women. The target's always been black women. Like Dr. Neely Fuller said, they're trying to replace black woman vagina with the white male anus. And that's just the truth of the matter. Look at what you're seeing. This is what toxic masculinity actually looks like. Because what is he doing? He's forcing himself into places. What is going on? Shout out, salute, Black Voltron in the house. Black Voltron Reloaded. So you see all of this madness going on, right? And then at the same time, while they're trying to get us to fall for this farce, they subsequently got lucky and got this to happen. Madeleine Albright. Madeleine Albright went ahead and kicked the old bucket today. And, she kicked the old bucket. She kicked the old crow's nest. Ain't really did nothing for us. But, I'm sure a lot of Planned Parenthood people really enjoy her. So that's about all we could do for her. All right, then. She get the all right then award. So, Sister SCOTUS. Y'all gonna go follow that on Instagram? She will rise. Oh man. I mean, it's like, okay, 2 years removed from them shoving Kamala Harris down our throats like she was black. Then she tell you what she gonna do, and then we not fooling with her as a group. And then subsequently, the oldest white man in America wants to run for president, and y'all said, "Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you get that other woman that we didn't want?" Now she's the best thing. She's like, Madam President, that's my vice president, Madam Vice President. Oh, nigga. Oh, God. Oh, man. Painfully stupid. Painfully stupid. It's like, this is how I feel over here. Shut up, bitch. So just to let you know. I mean, because that is so foolish to me. So foolish to me. Oh Lord. So for those of y'all who don't understand what you are getting and with all of this celebrating this Sister SCOTUS, let me just put some reality back in your frame for you.
That nigga is guilty! Sir, settle down. You have to go deliberate. I don't need to deliberate. Hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
So let's just see how they're presenting that to us.
Applying the law in every case.
Ketanji Brown-Jackson has a resume seemingly tailor-fit for the moment. Harvard grad, Supreme Court clerk, and a federal judge with a deep history in public service.
No, all that means deeply tailored for the moment. Do y'all know what that means? That means she fits the best mold, the smoke screen, you Negroes, because she fits the Obama mold. She's a Harvard Law School graduate. They make sure to throw that out there. Why? Because of good old Barack Obama.
There was a direct line from my defender service to what I do on the bench.
D.C. born and Miami raised, Jackson stood out early, excelling in high school as class president and on the debate team. Even then, her goal was clear. She's quoted in her senior yearbook saying,
You said play it again? Oh, I'll play it again, yeah. Like, sir, makes it like that posse's on Broadway. We are on Front Street. Strategically.
That I'm even-handedly applying the law in every case.
Ketanji Brown-Jackson has a resume seemingly tailor-fit for the moment. Harvard grad, Supreme Court clerk, and a federal judge with a deep history in public service.
There was a direct line from my defender service to what I do on the bench.
D.C. born and Miami raised, Jackson stood
There's
out
really
early,
not
excelling
that
in high school
long
as class
history,
president
though.
and on the debate team. Even then, her goal was clear. She's quoted in her senior yearbook saying, I want to go into law and eventually have a judicial appointment. Her teenage years were key to achieving that, as she put it in 2017.
It was my high school experience as a competitive speaker that taught me how to lean in despite the obstacles.
With honors degrees from Harvard and Harvard Law, Jackson scored 3 federal clerkships, including one under the justice she may now replace.
Justice Breyer plucked me from obscurity and gave me the opportunity of a lifetime.
And I will say she is adored among the Breyer clerk family.
She made a lasting impression, said fellow Breyer clerk and former acting U.S. Solicitor General Neil Katyal.
She's fearless, and also she's a real person. And sometimes that's not always true with Supreme Court justices who live in an elite, rarefied atmosphere. But she's a judge who's never forgotten the human side of judging.
She's seen.
So she's a judge. She's a mammy that knows her place, and she's a mammy that knows how to make sure she doesn't get out of line, and she minds her manners. She keeps her head down, and she makes sure the white men feel comfortable. And if she needs to dumb it down to make white women feel comfortable about her appearance, she'll do that too. I know that's really not what he just said, but that is exactly what he just said.
That human side up close, with family on both sides of the justice system. Her brother working for the Baltimore Police Department, and her uncle serving a life sentence for a cocaine conviction.
Justice demands this result.
The fake relatability, because, you know, all of us black people are criminals. So, I mean, hey, you know, she got a family member that's a cop, white people, and then she also has an uncle doing life for cocaine possession or cocaine deal. He was a trafficker. Man, you black people. So she knows both sides of the fence. All you people are criminals. I mean, surely the white people, I was saying police, so that meant, oh, they serve white people. Come on, y'all. Y'all better start listening to code words, man. Oh, y'all better start listening to code words. Good grief.
She worked to understand and improve the system as a public defender and as vice chair of the U.S. Sentencing Commission.
And that is an unusual addition and I think a valuable perspective.
Margaret Russell is a constitutional law professor who says Jackson's criminal defense background sets her apart.
There are many former prosecutors who are already on the bench. But what's interesting about a public defender, and really quite rare on the court, it's been a couple of decades, is that focus on the indigent defendant, someone.
Family. We're going to come back to that. I'm going to finish that, but I got this got to be me on the screen right now. Anybody who ever had a family member or yourself have had legal trouble, they are putting a public defender on the United States Supreme Court. A public defender. The worst representation for black people in law, hands down. And these niggas is out here cheering this. You can't be serious. She is legitimately a public pretender. You know her main job for Negroes is? To get you to take a bad deal. And then she gets promoted to judge. Why you think she got promoted to judge? Oh, because while she's giving these Negroes bad raw deals, the white pedophiles getting probation. Clap it up, Ketanji Brown-Jackson. Woohoo! Black folks is really winning. Woohoo! You didn't even vote for this. But, you know, this is now what the person who you did vote for, who is now giving you another person who would just be a yes individual. Yes, unqualified. And now this makes more sense to why they keep throwing that qualified line out there so tough. No, she's not. She's a damn public pretender. How did a public defender even become judge? Anybody ask that question? How the hell a public defender, where is a public defender ever became a judge? You have to go into prosecutorial law, or well, not prosecutorial, but you're going into private practice. I don't know the people who have made their bones on an oversized caseload on free pro bono cases. Are you kidding me? Absolute hogwash. Y'all got to start investigating more going on with people out here. If y'all don't know BS like this when you hear it.
Who is really lacking in opportunity, often despised, often overlooked.
On the Sentencing Commission, Jackson continued that work, fighting for more equitable drug penalties.
There is no federal sentencing provision that is more closely identified with unwarranted disparity and perceived systemic unfairness than the 100-to-1 crack powder penalty distinction.
That was the first of 3 Senate confirmations for Jackson. In 20.
Let me tell you what that actually was. And I know a lot of folks, because black folks are so shallow, be like, well, I want to go here. Some of y'all like to do that because y'all like to make excuses for who you like. That was not a win for black folks. What she did right there was open up a restriction for this opioid crisis that they weren't admitting was happening. This is still them benefiting from the law now. Black folks still are not. Now, here's equity from Joe Biden for black folks. Well, I sent most of y'all away from crack, but, I still pretty much look at you guys as crackheads. So what I'm going to do for racial equity is I'm going to give you a free smoking kit so you can make sure you can smoke your dope in peace. Now, when I say dope, I don't mean marijuana. No, there won't be any Swisher Sweet zigzags or blunts in there. No. What that's going to be is your crack pipe, your meth pipe, and your syringe for what we actually do deem as drugs. Oh, no, never mind. We've actually locked you Negroes up for the last 50 years for weed. But no, we don't really actually consider that a hard drug. No, we just actually use that to ravage your community. Then once we got crack and heroin in it, hey, the show was already on the road, so the rest is history. Then we needed to turn a buck and use your music against you, so we actually then had to make weed more acceptable because that way we could further usher in our own pharmaceuticals to your community. Shout out to Teva and all of Teva's great supporters that love their activists in Percocet and Xanax. See how that works? Long planning scheme. Yeah, this guy with the pimple face ain't as dumb as he look, huh?
12, she was nominated to the federal bench in Washington, D.C., introduced by then Congressman Paul Ryan, who's related to Jackson by marriage.
But my praise
Shark eyes.
for Ketanji's intellect, for her character,
alert,
for her integrity,
alert,
it's unequivocal.
Alert.
She's an amazing person.
She earned a reputation on the district court for being thorough and methodical.
You can tell she has that speech and debate background because she likes to engage with the parties.
Sanchi.
No, the hell she doesn't. So see, that's what, okay, so you got the white dude over there pumping her up, right? Then you have to have the Democratic side. They immediately lie. Oh, if you see her, that she ain't got no soul in her, man. Cut that out. They trying to put this sister girl thing on her that ain't there. Oh, she's just so stop. Now, true indeed, every coon has that because they are black, of course. But they spend their whole life doing other things. There's nothing about Ketanji other than her little college friend that look like she don't even fool with black folk to get up there and speak for her. Man, y'all got to know the type that y'all looking at. That's what I used to say when we was kids. The older folks, they'd be like, yeah, you got to know them types. I mean, you bourgeois individuals.
Correa and Neha Sabrawal clerked for Jackson and say they were struck by her work ethic.
one thing that she would tell us when I was clerking for her is that, you can't always expect to be the smartest person in the room, but you can promise to be the hardest working. And she truly lives by that philosophy.
And by the warm welcome she extended.
And she came out of her office, huge smile, gave me a huge hug, and told me how excited she was that I would be working for her. And that sort of set the tone for the rest of my clerkship experience.
A memory that I had, that I still have of her.
Mick, just look at the screen, family, and then keep in mind what you just saw in the previous screen, the last woman talking. Are you noticing something?
Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Man, I could not put my finger on it. That's what it is. Wow, everybody who she surrounds herself with subsequently seems to be looking like they could be kin to Kamala Harris. And definitely not from her Jamaican side. Still from India. But anyway, let's be about what they still have to say.
There's this relay race in which several DC Circuit and DDC chambers participated, and at the judge's suggestion, we made matching t-shirts and set up a training schedule and lined up everyone in chambers to participate, because she just has so much spirit for everything that she does, and her diligence is really contagious.
It was there on the district court that Jackson sentenced more than 100 people and penned some of her best-known opinions. In 2017, she presided over the so-called Pizzagate conspiracy case, delivering a 4-year prison sentence for a man who fired his gun in a D.C. pizza shop, wrongly believing it was home to a child sex ring. And in 2019, she ordered that former Trump White House counsel Don McGahn
I didn't realize that part. I did not realize that part till just right now. Did y'all know that? Well, I guess we can go home now. We already know the answer for this. So for those of you who don't understand what's happening, let's just go ahead and lay it out for your family. Well, I guess we will be called conspiracy theorists tonight because she made sure that the person that was under the impression that they were rescuing kids from a child sex ring in the Pizzagate scandal, which for some may know implicates some DNC heads. Excuse me. Excuse me. Boy. So it's kind of funny. Wow, man. Boy, that Epstein being gone, boy, that sure eases a lot of weight off people's shoulders now, don't it? But if you had somebody to kind of make sure things went away, there is one way to make sure you can repay it. So that makes me go back to my other question. Who knows this woman? Oh, now we see who knows this woman. Gotcha. So let me explain something to you about how DNC plants work. When you have a Democratic shield, you know, there's not every day to where you may just have the ball in your court. And you may know what to answer the devil when they ask you, so what do you want? I want to be Supreme Court Justice. I want to be the first Black woman Supreme Court Justice. And remember, there were other people out of the new Black media. I'm the only one that told you he was going to pick her. everybody thought that he would have picked Clyburn's girl because he was fighting for her so tough. I'm like, nope. This woman right here, oh no, she everything he wants. Because I see what time it is. I've met them types before. She can't stand black people. Y'all have, some of y'all have never met those people, but I know there are some of y'all who have. Y'all know black folks that can't stand black people. I mean, they hate black people. Nigga, old punk ass nigga. It ain't just black as not. I mean, we've known these Uncle Ruckus as type, but they just won't admit that they have. They'll come up with some coon excuse. Oh, hey, y'all, whoever seen was it Soldier Story? Yeah, go treat yourself. For all of those Denzel fans, you want to go see some young Denzel, go watch Soldier Story. Matter of fact, that movie full of black folks. Howard Rollins. Y'all don't know. He met his demise. See, that's another thing. All this fake homophobic crap in our community. Howard Rollins, if y'all don't know, from the heat of the night, is long in it. During his career, had a cocaine problem, and every time he ended up getting hemmed up by the police, he was dressed like a woman. I'm just saying. History. Shout out. I'm going to leave that one. Because, you know, hey, man, certain people have a check. You know, them Hollywood checks can hit a little different. My. So anyway, let's get back to this. Those who know, know. I got need them
comply with a congressional subpoena during the Russia investigation. Siding against the Trump administration, she plainly wrote, "Presidents are not kings."
Yes,
one thing is clear. The 120-page ruling had a purpose.
It came up at her third Senate appearance, this one for the D.C. Court of Appeals, seen as a tryout for a Supreme Court hearing.
I am both humbled and very grateful to be here once again.
Republicans took aim at Jackson's public defender clients.
Have you ever represented a terrorist at Guantanamo Bay?
About 16 years ago when I was a federal public defender.
And her identity.
What role does race play, Judge Jackson, in the kind of judge that you have been and the kind of judge you will be?
I don't think that race plays a role in the kind of judge that I have been and that I would be.
Behind
only black people get asked questions like that and expected to say, it doesn't affect me. Because if you ask all of them, they're going to go back and tell you, well, my father, he was a little boy over in Ireland, and they came over and they came to the old way of ships, and then they came and landed on New York, and then they do this and did that, and they shine shoes for a living, and then, you know, they got right up out of Harlem. I mean, get out of here. The same old song, and then we hear this, man, please. If y'all don't know what y'all hearing, y'all still got some personalities out here in the world to encounter. Because let me tell you what this is right here. This woman is absolutely on team white supremacy. She will not even she is so finely tuned to avoid questions of race that it's natural second nature for her. And you have to wonder, how the hell is a public defender when I was in the hospital and me and my wife was in the hospital having our first child, She was clerking. There's people who were already on the bench when our child first was born. None of them black women who've been there would want a shot. Now, let's look at what Barack Obama did. He put old ass Ruth Bader Ginsburg on there. You already knew she wasn't finna live past 12 years. Well, she got, 16 out the joint? So, yeah, she got a couple more than that she thought she would. And then she almost checked out of here a couple times early. But, nonetheless, you knew she had no 20-year run. This woman got about 40 years to die in that chair. Why? Why is a public pretender being put in such a high position, chosen by the #1 man who, by way, gave you the crime bills of 86 in 92, 94? Who has company affiliations of people who were sitting in certain meetings that you can go get the PDFs to today at Agenda 21, Rex 84. Anyway, these King Alfred, who knows? These type of things are available for you because they, after so long of these meetings taking place, and certain people have died, you can now go get this information for yourself. That's how also you can find out that Bayard Rustin, who is responsible for the shift of civil rights into LGBTQ promotion and making sure that reparations never came to black people, that is a CIA and FBI snitch. So for those who didn't know, just like Al Sharpton, has now, since they had to out him, since the paperwork came to time, it's like, oh yeah, he's a snitch too. So remember, for those of you who are coming in around the grassroots right now and thinking that, oh yeah, I could just be around here and I'll just hang out. Remember, they break their tools, baby. And if we are all still here 20 years from now, God forbid, in this condition, well, we're going to throw you over there to Grandmaster Jake's camp and let him go ahead and deal with how he deal with traders. Woo! There's just some shit you ain't never gonna hear come out of my mouth. Not in front of no damn camera. Lord.
At those hearings, her husband, Dr. Patrick Jackson, and one of their 2 daughters. The pair met in college and were, as she says, an unlikely match at first.
Stop. 1999, y'all. Wait. Hold on. So around the time when me and my wife getting together, she's getting with her husband. So I guess he took you to, let's see. Did y'all go see Soul Food? Did y'all go on a date night to go watch The Wood? What about How to Be a Player? Did y'all go check out Booty Call? Let's see. Oh, how about Next Friday? Did y'all go see Next Friday? But I bet she can tell you about all the Richard Gere movies that was playing around that time, though. All them black. Oh, what about The Best Man? Did you go see The Best Man? At least. What's Life 99, Damn, Life was 99? Sure enough, we was in there with a big fat tub of popcorn, too. We was in like a big old thing of popcorn.
And his twin brother are, in fact, 6th generation Harvard. By contrast, I am only the 2nd generation in my family to go to any college, and
Ooh, that made me cringe. Oh my God. Oh, I got to run that back. So family, you got to understand what you're hearing right here. What she is telling you is she is so grateful to have been let into this gracious white man's fold. And she has been accepted because she just comes from lowly papas, uneducated parents, and he's 9th generation Harvard. Score! God, this is ultra cringy.
I don't think that race plays a role in the kind of judge that I have been and that I would be.
Behind her at those
Okay, she
hearings,
went
her
to go see
husband,
Dirty
Dr.
Dancing.
Patrick Jackson, and one of their 2 daughters. The pair met in college and were, as she says, an unlikely match at first.
He and his twin brother are, in fact, 6th generation Harvard.
6th generation, my bad.
By contrast, I am only the 2nd generation in my family to go to any college, and I'm fairly certain that if you traced my family back past my grandparents, who were raised in Georgia, by the way, you would find that my ancestors were slaves on both sides.
The yeas are 53.
I ain't trying to be disrespectful to women right now, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, did that almost just fly out of my mouth. What the did you just say? Oh, okay. And with that, let that nail be in that coffin. Anyone who thinks this woman give a damn about black people, you are crazy. Did y'all catch that? Oh man, it just keeps getting worse and worse, don't it? Oh, the zaddy worship level energy is through the roof. God. I'm family. This is like some Crystal Corazon type talk. Am I wrong? I mean, it's on some straight up Crystal Corazon, man.
Generation Harvard. By contrast, I am only the 2nd generation in my family to go to any college, and I'm fairly certain that if you traced my family back past my grandparents, who were raised in Georgia, by the way, you would find that my ancestors were slaves on both sides.
The yeas are 53, the nays are 44. The nomination is confirmed.
She was ultimately confirmed with 53 votes, all 50 Democrats, plus Republican senators Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Lindsey Graham. That put Jackson, now 51 years old, in the seat formerly held by another Supreme Court hopeful.
Today I am nominating Chief Judge Merrick Brian Garland to join the Supreme Court.
Before then President Obama made that decision in 2016, Jackson's 11-year-old daughter wrote in with her own suggestion.
Dear Mr. President, while you are considering judges to fill Justice Scalia's seat on the Supreme Court, I would like to add my mother, Ketanji Brown-Jackson of the District Court, to the list.
I want to add my mama, the public pretender, to the list of Supreme Court justices. You got to be kidding me. Enslaved where, though, on both sides, they played word games. Man, they probably wasn't even enslaved in America in the first place. Come on. If you go back a few generations, yeah, you're going to be in the Caribbean by then. This woman was born in D.C. by way, her family is from Florida, South Florida. For whatever reason, she's in D.C. to be born, and then is raised in the Miami-Dade County area. I'm blowing on Jamaica. I'm blowing on Jamaica. What's the title of that song, Smitty? Oh, Little Haiti. Allegedly.
6 years later, it seems President Biden might be listening. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Jeff Bennett.
Enslaved on an island somewhere. Exactly. Exactly. You know, black. I mean, come on. Man. If you would go back a few generations, oh my God, these white kids, their family's so prestigious and white. If you go back in my lowly Negro family, I mean, just a few generations, oh my God, it's slaves, man. How dare you? How dare you? You got your nerve looking at your ancestors like they less than theirs because they went to Harvard? You punk. Oh. I couldn't even address nothing like that in public, in person without talking crazy. Because that right there, you just crossed the line of cooning. You have crossed the damn line of cooning. It's just 6 generations, and my just lowly Negro ancestors are just downtrodden, stupid slaves. I mean, God. Whoa. I knew she was a mammy. That's my first time hearing that level, though. I had no idea. And that's what she did to get federal judge in the first place. With an audition like that, she is a shoo-in for SCOTUS. No holding back for her. Jeez. Whoa. 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 That last part, I just heard it when y'all heard it. Oh, where's that other video at? On that, yeah, I'm done. There's nothing else I gotta say after that. I mean, they're right, B1 Beauty. Damn shame. Ain't nothing else I can say about that. And wow. I'm speechless, y'all. I am freaking speechless. You cannot be serious. You think that lower your ancestral blood, man? And these dudes is so, oh man, so fantastic and white. And that's she will rise. Sister SCOTUS. Ain't your SCOTUS. Oh my God. Mammy SCOTUS. Mammy SCOTUS. Oh my Lord. If y'all are just now tuning in, we're about to wrap up here. Because what I just played is the coup de grace on this whole, this is the title of this show. After that, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. I knew she was a mammy, but I had no idea it was that deep. Lord. So, please go back and watch this video. And if you want to know what this woman is about, the very last video I just played, make no mistake, she does not feel as prideful as we do to be the descendants and survivors of American chattel slavery. She has a clear, different position and view to where we hold our ancestors in esteem. She clearly does not. So with that in mind, is that a person who you would ever think would be fighting for reparations? If she hated her own family's ancestral blood, why would she want to see us get reparations? That's how you know she's been vetted. And so with that being said, yo, we are going to make it real simple and plain this evening here. Because any of y'all black folks still thinking that that woman got your back, I'm going to need you to, man, you know, hey, man, the Cash App. See, I got a great deal for you, okay? See, what I have is a bridge. Now, what you can do, see, you put your name on the bridge. Now, this bridge goes between two magical destinations. So you have point A and then you have point B. Now, what you'll be able to do in the middle of that is able to put your name on that bridge. You dig what I'm saying? Now, anybody that's crossing over this bridge to get to point A to point B, well, then you will get all the money. So all I need you to do is hit me up right now, Cash App, $Beatzillapdx. That is Cash App, $Beatzillapdx. And just go ahead and put in the message, this is for purchase of your bridge. Okay? So I need, because y'all believing that she got your back, believe I got this bridge. I got it for you, just like she got justice and equality coming for you out of her decisions in the future on the bench. And with that being said, we're going to revisit this again real quick before we go home, because I just want somebody to let this sink on in on why you saying what you're saying. And never forget, not all people with white skin come from the same bloodline either. So maybe somebody who is looking at, oh, you know what? I seem to remember there's somebody. Oh, that's right. Roman McCray, the writer, right? Because he and all of them, his followers, you know, the January 6 people, the Kyle Rittenhouses and what's this other kid? Oh, Ethan Crumley. Yeah, they're all followers of this guy that also went off on a shooting spree and killed himself in the process as well. But so what they're all into is this Babylonian philosophy, because that goes back down to Baal worship and the ancient Moloch worship and such and stuff. You know, if you're into things like that. One of those things that I've shown you also, which was celebrated for the night of, Astro World. Yeah, that night they sacrificed. I mean, when 9 people died. That night, that was over the other goddess celebration, to which one depiction of her actually has RX on it. If anybody would know what signs you see RX on. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but some people may speculate and theorize with little snakes and staffs, RXs on signs, may perhaps mean, you know, certain lines of or directions of business, like Pfizer, or Teva, Merck. You know, well, they're all owned by the same company and funded by the same people. Soros. Oh, wow, man, oh, man. So what y'all need to do is follow the money and let this little place, what you're seeing happen right there, do what it's supposed to do. Because Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Y'all better let it fall like you see on your screen right now and let us rise. This has been the broadcast of the midweek report, the Ketanji Brown-Jackson Con Game. And I think I made it as plain as it needs to be. You know, because it can't get much plainer than that. You know, when she's up here, basically, I mean, that is so disrespectful to your ancestors. It ain't funny. And these are ancestors to whom you are just, what, 2-3 generations removed that you're talking? If you just went back that far. I mean, they were slaves. You work in D.C. Who built that damn White House? Who built where you in? Doing this talking crazy. Slaves. Yeah. Funny, you know, some people would speculate. Kind of interesting. You got some of the same things in Washington, D.C. that you had in ancient Egypt. You know, I guess aliens must have built the pyramids all over the world and all these other monuments, right? Because by no means, since there wasn't any evidence of any white folks there, then, man, it had to be aliens. I would advise y'all, stop taking your advice from your enemy and stop looking at people who look like you as your enemy. If somebody is giving you thoughtful information, insightful information, pertinent information, take it. You know, ain't no reason to shun it. Shunning information and knowledge and wisdom just makes you a fool. Nobody wants to keep company with the fool other than fools and the lost, thieves and liars. With that being said, follow me on Instagram, beatzillapdx. Follow me on Twitter, beatzillapdx. Follow me on Facebook, beatzillapdx. And absolutely do not troll me and follow me under troll accounts or you will get blocked. But also you can follow me on Melanated People when they get that situation situated. Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. And then you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That is ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by way of donation, you definitely can do so. Everything is greatly appreciated. It goes right back into building this and building all the other things we are trying to get done. You know, in this little space of the new black media, which is the Beatzilla PDX official show. Right here, shout out to all of the B1, the certifieds, as Black Alpha Cash puts it. You know, I really appreciate all this, all of this black movement and black thought that I'm seeing out here, and just watching the age range of it all, man, is a very dope thing for me to witness. We are in a new day and age, family, and they are well aware of that. So they have to put things like this Ketanji person and business up in front of us. But see, here's the other problem that you got. We end up doing things like this, and y'all don't vet nobody for us no more. We'll vet them when you present them. And if we're not presenting them, we know we're already skeptical, and you should now by now know that we are going to be skeptical about anyone you present us, talking about there for us. We got somebody right now that we are presenting, Marcel. Marcel could tell you right now, he owe it to the new black media to make sure that he's getting heard and seen. Yeah. And, you know, a collective of voices, a collective of strength, a collective of energy, a collective of platforms. To where now they actually have to acknowledge him as a legitimate candidate. In the meantime, Lee Merritt, out of there. Gary Chambers, you're on your way, baby. Whoever put that money into all of that fakeness, why don't you just go ahead and put it into the grassroots where the real is, and the only place to where real black people are even listening to. Shout out to my folks out there in Maryland who do not let outsiders pop up on the block. You already know how we rock. So, you know, keep it black. Keep it real. And peace, power, blessings, and protection be unto all of you. Want to donate right here at CashApp, like I said before, $, beatzillapdx, CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And of course, we also have PayPal, Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And of course, we have Our Real Truth, the podcast on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iTunes. So up until the next time we shall meet again, family. There's that Cash App banner. We are going to be out of here. So if I'm not, well, no, I won't be doing anything tomorrow. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's my wedding anniversary. So no, I will. Y'all probably will see me kind of lightweight social media, if any, tomorrow. Because tomorrow's our wedding anniversary and we kicking it. So we'll be chilling. Hopefully the weather is nice. I'm hoping the sun surprises us and comes out tomorrow because, you know, it would be nice. Because we've been trying to get to this. We have one of these we have a lot of like wetland gardens here in this joint. So as spring is starting to come in, we have a rhododendron garden. I mean, it's really nice, right smack dab in the city. I've done a live video from there before. So we have a few places like that in the city. So, you can really kind of get out and just enjoy, you can get out and just enjoy a nice walk here. And, just being out, just chilling, you know what I mean? Doing a couple things. Feel me? So we will be back Friday. We will be back Friday, as we do for the weekly wrap up. Who knows? Hopefully, we might hear from the oldest tomorrow. Who knows? But, when your kids get grown, it's like, oh, that's right. Y'all anniversary. Oh, my bad. So man, y'all have a blessed night. I will see y'all Friday. Thank y'all so much. I will tell the wife y'all well wishes, and we will see y'all Friday for our weekly wrap up. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yeah. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.